A storm coming indeed. The Cardiff Devils hosting the Manchester Storm live and exclusive from Ice Arena, Wales. The Premier Sports Elite League coverage continues now. Aaron Murphy alongside Paul Adey, and well, it was a European adventure for Jared Scaldi and the Cardiff Devils. They had a real good performance in the Champions Hockey League, including a big victory in this building over Lausanne, but now they turn their sights towards Elite League wins and points.
Yeah, obviously this is an important game at home, and you always want to bounce back if you haven't had a couple of good games and you know, make things work at home. And they certainly have a quality team this year. They look very strong throughout their lineup, and you know, at the end of it, they'll be there challenging for honors or close to the league title, if not maybe win it. But there's a lot of competition this year. There's no weak teams out there, and every game is tough.
Safe to say it's a new era, a new coach, new players, a new goalie in Matt Carruth. The likes of Brody Reed are replacing the likes of Joey Martin. So it is indeed a new era. And what can we expect from these Devils now that the Champions Hockey League is done? They could be a dangerous, dangerous proposition for anyone in the Elite League or the Challenge Cup.
Well, if you look at two good goalies, so if one's not playing so well, the other one could go in. On defense, there's lots of depth there. They have both offense and defensive defensemen. Up front is the same story. They have guys who can do it all. And like you're talking about Reed, 8 goals in 4 games. I mean, if you look at him, his scoring percentage is way up there. He's almost close to like 30%, and he's scoring almost 1 out of every 3 shots. So that's amazing. If he continues that pace, he'll break the record for most goals in the league. But I mean, that's tough to do. But they certainly have some real good players and a really good team. So any night they can go out and win.
Paul Adey type numbers on the shooting percentage. Let's talk about Ryan Finnerty's squad. They had a tough outing last Sunday, an 8-0 loss. They rebounded very nicely. 2 wins on the hop here, including Thursday's victory, but a big victory, a shutout victory over the Giants 24 hours ago.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do when you look at the Giants, how many offensive players they have to shut them out. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Plus, I mean, Ginn's a great goalie, and his save percentage is really high this year so far. And I mean, he's going to be he's going to have to play well for the Storm. And they're very good at home. They've always been a big challenge at home. I think the challenge for them is going to be away from home and see if they get some wins on the road. And this is a big test here in Cardiff because Cardiff are really good at home. But if you look at Manchester, they already have 8 guys who scored at least 1 goal in their lineup. So that's really positive to have that depth. And if you're also Manchester, you're looking at your special teams. Your special teams are okay in Manchester. They're nothing special. But if you look at that and think, well, we can improve on our special teams, and that will help us win even more. And especially on the road, you need your special teams to work for you.
Cardiff up near the top of the league in both the power play and the penalty kill, so that could be a big factor in this one. Well, a big factor in the broadcast. We'll send it across rinkside. Chris Ellis has some team news.
Yes, plenty coming up, Murph. Lots to talk about. And really looking forward to, in the period breaks, hearing from Paul Adey and Jared Scaldi. A great in-depth where coach meets coach. And then behind the boards, the former GB player and the former Cardiff player, Thomas Murdy, just talking about him and how he's made that transition from player to equipment manager. And just before I finish, a little bit of team news. Interesting team news from Cardiff. They're going to be without Cole Samford this evening. They've had to make some changes. Sam Duggan is back after a couple of weeks out, but Cole Samford will miss out. Full team news later.
Thanks to Chris Ellis. He'll have plenty more updates ringside as the evening wears on at Ice Arena, Wales. Let's talk about character. When you lose 8-0 last Sunday, a lot of people think, well, you're going to dip your head. You don't believe in what's going on. But Ryan Finnerty and the Storm have reeled off 2 straight wins, including a victory Thursday, but a big 3-0 shutout victory over the Giants 24 hours ago.
Yeah, big win for them. I mean, but if you look at all teams have a bad night 2 or 3 times in a year. It's hard to go through the whole season, not getting beat up a little bit. But it's how you react afterwards, and you got to give Coach Ryan Finnerty credit. They came straight back and played really well, won some hockey games, and that's a good sign of a good team that not happy with losing, because you want to see that reaction, especially if you've lost by more than a few goals.
Ryan Finnerty was a fiery competitor as a player, a fiery coach. Let's have a look at the table on the back of those 2 straight wins for Ryan Finnerty's Manchester Storm. You see they're on 6 points. The Sheffield Steelers atop the table right now on 8 points. The Cardiff Devils on 5. Cardiff 2-1 in their last 3 games played, but coming off a 5-2 loss to the Nottingham Panthers last Sunday. And with just 1 game for Cardiff this week, and they're going to want to get something from this one. Manchester looking for a 3rd straight win, though, so it's shaping up nicely for this one, Paul Adey.
Yeah, big test for the Devils, of course, at home. And like you say, only 1 game. They're going to want to win this one. This is important for them. They want to move up the standings. And for Manchester, it's a big challenge because they're coming up against a really good team here in Cardiff. And the Storm, they're always good at home. They're always really tough at home. On the road, I think it's been a bit of their their weakness at times, and this is a chance for them to prove themselves on the road also.
You mentioned Matt Ginn earlier. We've talked about Matt Carruth on our Champions Hockey League broadcast. This could be a very good goaltending matchup, which is following the storyline pretty well. All of our Premier Sports Elite League games have been very good goaltending matchups.
Yeah, they have been, and both these two guys are very, very good. And Ginn, like you say, coming off some big wins there, so he's going to be feeling really confident. So that's Cardiff's going to have to try to break him down early and get him off his game early, because I think if he gets in there and starts feeling good again, then it could be tough on Cardiff.
Well, a guy that shoots the puck as well as anybody that doesn't play in the Elite League anymore is Liam Kirk. Scored his first AHL goal last night for the Tucson Roadrunners in their 4-0 victory. It was actually the game-winning goal. He had the opener in that one. So Liam Kirk, I mean, yes, he's missed on these shores. I know that fans in Sheffield would love to have him there, but the right decision was made to go and play over there, and it's been rewarded with a big first goal last night.
Well, I mean, he has to. I mean, let's be honest. You have to go. You're trying to get to the NHL, every player's dream, and the first step for him is to make the American League and play there. And if he starts scoring goals, big goals, who knows? He might get a call up, and that's what he's playing for. That's what his dream is. So, yeah, I'm not disappointed he's not playing in the league here. I'm happy that he's in the American League and living his dream and trying to get to the NHL. I mean, that's just perfect, and it's great news that he's got a big goal, and yeah, it's real positive for everybody.
Went to the net hard last night, got rewarded, using his size and his strength. He's really become a complete player. And you're right, I'm not disappointed. It would have been a failure for everyone, I think, if he was back in the Elite League. That's no disregard to the league. It's just, this is a player that's got something going on. And first goal in the American Hockey League last night for Liam Kirk. So congrats to Liam Kirk and the Tucson Roadrunners, the first of many. We know how he did at the World Championships with those 7 goals for Team GB. Let's go over ringside again. Chris Ellis has already been pretty busy at Ice Arena Wales. He chatted with Ryan Finnerty a few moments ago.
Ryan, well, you had that big defeat in Fife, but since then, 2 great wins, including the one against Belfast last night. What's been the change around the past couple of games?
I think actually losing that game the way we did in Fife was far more beneficial than if we just lost one a 3-2 or 2-1 game, because it kind of gave us a sense of the league for the new guys. Potentially even a deeper look into our team to find that identity. And when guys get beat, you kind of get the real character of the team. And they came back, worked hard all week. We had a big game against Dundee, and then obviously a big game last night.
Now, thanks to Al Murphy, we've been doing our research. You've come up against a former coach of yours tonight in Jared Scowdy. What are your memories? You had a short period of him in Bloomington, but what are your memories of playing under him?
Yeah, the ironic thing is I left Scalds to come to Cardiff to play here. And now he's here. So, yeah, we had a bit of a chuckle. And Franny, the guy sitting next to him, was the one who kind of spearheaded the whole thing. So, yeah, no, it was good. I mean, obviously, we had a small window together, but he's a great guy. He's a great coach. It's no secret he's going to do really well over here.
Brilliant. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks to Ryan Finnerty and Chris Ellis for joining us ringside. Plenty more as the game wears on. Aaron Murphy and Paul Eady getting excited for this one. The Cardiff Devils hosting the Manchester Storm, the Premier Sports Elite League. Coverage continues after this quick break. Welcome back to Ice Arena Wales. 2 wins in a row for the Manchester Storm. A 6-2 victory Thursday over Dundee. A big victory, a 3-0 shutout over Belfast. Last night, a busy week for the Manchester Storm and Ryan Finnerty. Great to hear from Ryan Finnerty ahead of the break. It's a nice pocket square he was wearing too. Pretty similar to the one I'm wearing. He's got great style, Ryan Finnerty. But let's just talk a little bit about the Manchester Storm. I mean, that was character building. You never want to lose 8-0, but interesting that he noted that was better than losing by a goal, because it really, you find out what you're made of when you get thumped like that.
Yeah, it really wakes you up, and you really go home and look at yourself in the mirror. It's an embarrassment, really, as a player and even as a coach to get a result like that, but it certainly spurs you on. And then that week of practice, like you said, they worked really hard, so obviously it was a wake-up call. They had a great practice. And then from there, they went on to win some games. So, and that's really positive that the team reacted that way. That's when he knows he's got some guys with character in his room.
Well, let's have a look at the guys in the room for the Manchester Storm. Here is their roster for this Premier Sports Elite League season. Matt Ginn, one of the best goalies in the league. He's got 2 shutouts in his last 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to play well this year for the team to be successful, of course. But he's very regular. I mean, he plays well in game out. Of course, he's going to have the occasional bad game, but he knows the league. He knows how to play in this league, and he's a very good goalie.
Adam Brady tied for third in the league with 6 points, tied on second in league goals with 4 in just 5 games played. This is a roster that certainly maybe looked a little bit disappointed a weekend ago, but have roared right back. And let's talk a little bit of how do they step up and how do you compete? You talk about arena teams and you talk about the smaller teams in the smaller facilities. Altrincham certainly one of those smaller ones, but you look at the way they played the last few games. This is a team that looks like they want to compete hard. And how do they step up?
Well, I think it's all about playing as a team, and you know, sometimes you don't have to have the most talent in your lineup or be the best team in the league, but if you play together as a team, you stick to the system, and that can bring you a lot of wins, and especially at home. I mean, if you have a good game plan at home and it works for you and you're winning a lot of games, and it always takes some pressure off going on the road. And I think that's what Manchester will try and do.
Well, let's head down. Chris Ellis with some team news for Ryan Finnerty's Manchester Storm.
Yeah, starting with Manchester Storm, Matt Ginn in net, 32 shots shut out last night against Belfast. On defence, Joe Hazeldine and Ben Wilson. And up front, Curtis Hamilton, Adam Brady scored last night against Belfast, and Jared Van Warmer as well. And then for Cardiff Devils, Matt Carruth started all 4 games this season, 2 wins and 2 losses. Matt Register and Mark Richardson on defence. And then Josh Waller, Stephen Dixon and Brodie Reid, 8 goals in 4 games this season. Just finally, Lee Young, a linesman here this evening. Welcome back, Lee Young. He had an injury, of course, in the Elite Series, a serious injury, but he's been back a few weeks and he's on the line tonight.
Great to hear Lee Young is back, fighting fit, one of the top officials around the Elite League. And you hear there the Matt Ginn getting the start. No surprise they're up against Matt Carruth. That is certainly one of the matchups we'll be watching. But the ones to watch for the Manchester Storm this evening, you wanted to look at Adam Brady. He has had a great start to the campaign for the Storm.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's only his second-year pro, Murph, and last year he had a good season, 37 points in East Coast League in 50-something games, 56, 57 games. So that's really a good first season for a young player, and now with a good start here this season, I mean, it's a real bright spot for the Manchester Storm to have a guy come in, a young pro come in and play as well as he has.
Well, it's the guys like that who come in and they were able to score big goals early on. You kind of start to lean on those youngsters, but there's also the veteran presence on the back end. A controversial figure at times, Lyndon Springer. I mean, he's a rough and ready character, but you wanted to look at him because when he does decide that he wants to finish a game out, he's a vital member on the back end for Ryan Finnerty.
Oh, he does, and he leads the team in plus-minus. Which is impressive, and you're right, he takes his penalty minutes, he does get thrown out of the occasional game, but you know, for 60 minutes he's intense, he plays hard for his team, he looks after his teammates, and he does a lot of good things out there in the ice, and yeah, of course he's got a lot of penalty minutes in the Elite League, but he's also a good defenseman.
Well, let's have a look at the ones to watch for the Cardiff Devils, a player that we talked about a lot in the Champions Hockey League, and we've talked a lot over the last few seasons, is Stephen Dixon. He does all the little things right to win a hockey game. He's got some great flow going as well, one of the best hairstyles in the Elite League, but it's the things he does that don't necessarily show up on the scoreboard that are so vital for head coach Jared Scaldi.
Yeah, like blocking shots and like winning face-offs. I think he's plus 24 on face-offs already this year, which averages out to a plus 6 every game on face-offs up to this point. So he does an incredible job for his team, and he's a real good role player, sets the example, plays hard.
And Brodie Reid, well, you talk about the likes of Brady coming in and starting to light it up early on for his new team. How about Brodie Reid? 8 goals in the league, 2 in the Challenge Cup, so 10 goals combined already for Brodie Reid.
Yeah, it's always good. You always need one of your players on your team who could really fill the net with the puck, and he's doing that right now for the Devils. And quick shot, right-handed shot. I always like those right-handed shooters, Murph. And he knows where the back of the net is. But he's got great experience. Let's be honest, played in the AHL, DEL. He's played in some great leagues in the world, and he's scored in those leagues. It's not like he went there as a tourist. He put the puck in the net and made plays. So he's certainly going to do the same thing here in the Elite League. Hard
to replace the Joey Haddads and the Joey Martins, but Brodie Reid lighting it up so far. Let's talk a little bit about the Cardiff Devils. Sometimes we've seen Elite League teams, you get off to that Champions Hockey League start, and sometimes it can take the air out of your sails a little bit. It's a lot of travel. You're up against top opposition. I mean, how do Cardiff, on the back of a pretty successful CHL journey with that big victory over Lausanne, how do they use that to power forward now in league play?
Well, I think what it did is give some of their players a chance to prove to the coach what they could do, and now he knows what he has available in his lineup, so that's all very positive. Of course, they're short a few players for tonight's game, which will make things more difficult, but now he can put those guys in there and have trust that they're going to do a job for him. So he's got to use all those games in a positive way, which he will do. He's a smart coach, and he'll use that to his advantage.
Well, he is indeed a smart coach, and coming up in the intermission, we will have Jared Scaldi on an extended coach-to-coach chat, but he also caught up with Chris Ellis a few moments ago.
Jared, what sort of test are you expecting from Manchester?
Well, they play so hard every night. They've had some success, obviously, last night against Belfast, and last week they got back in the winning ways. So, we expect them to play extremely hard in all three zones.
You come up against a former pupil for a short space of time. Ryan Finnerty played with you in Bloomington. Tell us what you remember about being his coach.
Ryan was a gritty player. He's a good centerman. He provided offense, but also he played in the guts of the game, and he was a tough guy to play against, and he was a very competitive player.
You've had some injury problems. I think a lot of teams in the league have. Tonight it seems that Cole Sanford won't play. How hard has it been for you to juggle your lines around?
Well, we've been fortunate in the sense that we've been able to keep Dixon, Reed, and Crandall together for quite some time now. We're going to mix that up a little bit tonight, and of course Cox and Sanford generally play together most of the time. So, whether we've had 9 forwards, 10 forwards, or 11, which we haven't had very often, we thought we were going to get that opportunity tonight, but unfortunately Cole's not going to be able to go. But it's a challenge for everybody, and we just try to find ways to create some offense with different line combinations.
Thanks for joining us, and good luck tonight.
Great, thank you.
Thanks to head coach Jared Scaldi for joining us on the Premier Sports Elite League pregame show. Well, the big action coming up, Cardiff hosting Manchester after this quick break. Welcome back to Ice Arena Wales. The pregame festivities amping up for the Cardiff Devils on home ice. They're 2-0 on home ice in league play. Their last home game, a 3-2 win over the Belfast Giants Saturday, October the 16th. Coming off a road loss last Sunday, though, a 5-2 defeat to the Nottingham Panthers. So Matt Carruth and company are going to want to get back to winning ways.
Well, certainly at home, too. You don't want to give up any points early in the season like this, Murph. So Cardiff certainly are looking to pick up 2 points, and it's not going to be easy. Manchester Storm are playing really well.
Manchester led by Matt Ginn. 2 shutouts in his last 3 games played, a .935 save percentage for Matt Ginn. Ben Davis, a former iconic moment, that goal over France in overtime. This is a team, the Cardiff Devils, with great balance up and down their lineup, but as Chris Ellis mentioned, they'll miss Cole Sanford in this one, and Brandon McNally's still out for the Devils.
Yeah, 2 really good players, two players that they could really use in this game, but unfortunately, they're not available. They're just going to have to go with who they have in the lineup. Sometimes when you're short a few players, you tend to play better because everyone knows they're going to be on the ice a lot. Everyone's ready to go. There's no one else who's going to take your spot. And sometimes in these games with a shorter bench, you play better.
We'll keep an eye on 91. Josh Waller, 1 goal and 3 assists thus far in league play. He was really good in the Champions Hockey League as well. Skates as good as anybody in that Devils lineup. And we talked about Liam Kirk earlier in his first AHL goal. Well, Josh Waller and some of the young Brits certainly making a name for themselves early on this season in the Premier Sport Elite League.
Well, I mean, and that's what you want to see. You want to see young players coming in and holding their own and playing well. That's all very positive, and certainly, the coaches need that. They need players, especially younger players, to be able to come in and do a good job for the team.
There is head coach Jared Scaldi. Of course, he was the National Hockey League Pittsburgh Penguins development coach in 2017, 2018. 115 NHL games played in his younger days, 575 appearances in the American Hockey League. And interesting to hear that about how he had Ryan Finnerty as a player many moons ago.
Yeah, nice story, but it just shows you in the hockey world how a lot of people cross paths at some point, Murph.
And 2 classy captains, Earhart and Richardson, 2 Team GB teammates as well. So there'll be no love lost in this one. 2 straight wins for Manchester, rebounding with great character after that 8-0 loss in Fife last Sunday. Matt Ginn certainly off to a good start, 3rd in the league with a 2.39 goals against average. As we pause now for the anthem. Wow, Paul Sullivan with the rousing rendition of the Welsh anthem. Incredible. It's a hellout is what they say around here, not a sellout. The Cardiff Devils full building for Jared Scaldy's squad. And there is the aforementioned Matt Ginn. What a goalkeeper he has been for the Manchester Storm. Third year with the Storm, American Hockey League and East Coast Hockey League experience. And Ginn, a .935 save percentage early on for the Manchester Storm.
Well, I mean, that's a very good save percentage, Murph. I mean, that's up there with the best numbers in the league, and certainly you need that from your team, from your goalie, for your team.
Matt Carruth, 2-2 thus far in league play. Richardson and Register on the back end. Reed, Dixon, and Waller will start things off up front. And Brody Reed, 8 goals in league play, 2 in the Challenge Cup, 10 goals combined already for Brody Reed. Keep an eye on 21 in red.
Yeah, I mean, he's been filling the net, Murph, and I mean, if you always have guys who are hot at some point in the season. Right now, he's hot early on, which has really helped the Devils.
Simmons, Critchlow, and Fawcett will get things started for the Manchester Storm. McNulty and Sullivan on the back. And Sullivan played for Cardiff on an emergency basis in the Champions Hockey League. We'll see how Sully goes up against his small portion of his season team with the Cardiff Devils. Devils hosting the Storm. Premier Sport Elite League action from Ice Arena, Wales. Dixon will dig in against Adam Brady. 4 goals and 2 assists already this season for Brady. Dixon will win the draw. And now Dixon will chase it down the left wing. Dixon trying to poke it along. Dixon knocked over. Took a little cross check there by Wilson. Wilson, a rugged character. The Storm come back up. Bobbling play there for ex-Belfast giant Curtis Hamilton. Hamilton to Van Wormer. Van Wormer back to Hamilton. Hamilton's got a laser-like release if he can get a look. Van Wormer in the slot. It comes back to the point. High shot. Well, look at Matt Carruth. As Hazeldine thought he might have had the top corner.
Yeah, it was a nice play from Hazeldine. He came down, saw the open space, got the puck, and fired a nice shot, but a nice glove save there from Carruth. And what happened was Reed came down to help out in front of the net, and because he had to come collapse down and take the guy in front, that allowed Hazeldine to open up and free up for a shot.
Face-offs this year in league play. Cardiff 54.1%, 46% for the Storm, but the Storm win the draw there. Shot up and over the crossbar by Springer. Critchlow. Critchlow plays the puck in. Tried to anyway, but Mickelson. Ex-NHLer Brendan Mickelson puts the puck up and over the glass. He has been excellent in all competitions for Jared Scaldy thus far.
Yeah, he's a good solid defense. You can see there, he's just trying to dump it in and forecheck. He was just trying to get the puck deep and get something going for his team. And if you have that open ice in the neutral zone as a defenseman, you want to just skate with it. And then once they stack the blue line, dump it in and chase it.
Matt Rose and Steph Hogarth are the referees. We heard Chris Ellis mention Lee Young, Ilya Kissel, the other official on the lines. Crandall leaves it for Mickelson. Brendan Mickelson rims it around for ex-Steeler and Team GB standout Ben O'Connor. Down the left side now, here comes Cox. Cox, Earhart. Earhart nearly gave the puck away, but it'll be Cam Critchlow wheeling down the right side for the visitors. Critchlow trying to find the trailer. Earhart pinching in. Cox chasing down Sullivan. And Zach Sullivan will leave it for the captain, Dallas Earhart.
Well, you can see the Storm right now just delaying a bit behind the net as they're changing, and the Devils changing also, setting up. Quick pass off the boards, Murph.
Here's Mark Lewis. Ahead, Lewis. There's Valdix. Valdix for 55 in the Champions Hockey League, where it's 28 now for Cardiff. There's DuPont, former New York Rangers draft pick. DuPont puts on the brakes, slides it into the corner. Good cycle. Cardiff have always been a good cycle team. This is a new era, as we mentioned. Lots of different characters in that red jersey, but still the cycle game a big part of their success. Lammett couldn't keep the cycle going as I jinx him, but Sullivan will play it ahead. McLeod. McLeod couldn't keep the forward momentum going as he has a little bit of a joust there with Lammett. And Sullivan will send it up and down. Icing call against the Storm.
Yeah, you can see straight away the Devils changing. They know the Manchester can't change, so they're going to change up and match up who they want and read straight on a smart move from coach Jared Scaldi. Offensive zone face-off. Get your top goal scorer on the ice.
And Dixon, a big part of why they're 54.1% in the dot. And Dixon will win another. Tap dancing to get it back to Register. Register sends it wide to the blocker side on Ginn. Richardson loses an edge there against Hamilton. Hamilton will send it quickly down to Brady. Brady had a bobbling puck to contend with, though, and Register will break the play up. Here comes Dixon. Former Pittsburgh Penguins draft pick Stephen Dixon sends it across. Richardson. Richardson lays it in. Lovely little play to Register. As Waller, there's some of that skating we talked about. He just has that quick first step. Waller sends it across. Brody Reed, back post, wide open net. Reed, well, he double clutched. Came off the heel of his stick, and that allowed Ginn to get back into position. But Brody Reed had a wide open goal there on the lovely feed from Richardson. Richardson, D to D to Register. Register averaged just over 30 minutes a game in the Champions Hockey League. Here's Reed backdoor for Dixon. Dixon, the puck just hopped on him at the last second. Broken stick for Hamilton, so essentially a 5-on-4 here. As it will be McNulty slowing things down as Mark McNulty with a good defensive play for the Storm.
Yeah, McNulty lost his stick. That's why Reed was so wide open and had time on the puck. I just kind of rolled off his stick, like you said, as he was trying to put it in the back of the net. So lucky for Manchester, he couldn't get control of it.
Register doubles back, and then Hamilton gave McNulty his stick, and then Hamilton had to go and get a new twig. The Storm were in trouble there, but they didn't panic, and McNulty came up with a good defensive play against the top line of the Devils.
Well, what happened is, remember that there was the icing, so they had to stay on the ice, so it was a long shift. And then, the Devils did a good job here cycling. You see Reed just misses that one. But give McNulty credit. He got his stick in, skates in a way a little bit, made it tougher for Reed to get that shot to the net.
Another face-off win by the Devils. Davis back to the point, and that's just lofted into the glove of Matt Ginn. No problem there, as Mickelson was just trying to get it on target.
Well, the Devils look a little bit quicker off the start here. They just seem like they're on to pucks first, and they're putting Manchester under some pressure early on in the first period, Murph.
Ben Davis will get a chance on this line with Sanford out of the lineup. Sanford is ill. Cox knocked over. Ben Wilson has had some physical interactions early on now, Wilson. Crandall lost a wheel or an edge in the corner. Gets it back to the point. Here's O'Connor now. O'Connor with the shot right on. Big rebound, and Crandall tried to cycle it back to Cox. Lofted out by Critchlow. Here's O'Connor. O'Connor unrelenting now. A bit of a sea of red coming forward for the Devils. Crandall back to Davis. Davis, well, he had to hold on to that a moment longer as Mickelson wasn't in position. Mickelson, though, stays with it, dumps it in, and the Storm make changes.
Yeah, they're changing again here. But one thing the Devils have done well is those passes through the middle. Good hard passes, crisp passes, and they're getting something going. Little chip passes back, and then they're driving through, creating some opportunities. And off the breakout here, the Storm have been struggling to get something going 5-on-5. The Devils have been setting up and doing a good job taking any easy passes through the middle, forcing the Storm wide. If they're not able to control those long passes, it's always going to go down for an ice. What they're trying to do, the Storm, is get a long pass and just one-touch it to the middle to create a quick odd-man rush at the blue line.
DuPont trying to win that drawback. McLeod trying to force it out as we approach 5 minutes gone in the first period. Still scoreless between Cardiff and Manchester. Trying to claw it along is Wade McLeod. What a story Wade McLeod is. Talk about adversity and character. Wade McLeod, he's a cancer survivor. He's battled hard to get his hockey career back on track. And what a battler Wade McLeod is. If you don't know the story, well, we've got a fight. Speaking of battlers, it's Lewis and Springer. We talked about Springer off the top. He's not afraid to mix it up. And Mark Lewis, one of the toughest guys in the league. Lewis trying to throw a couple of left hands, and It takes 3 officials to try and break this up. I'm not sure that was the smartest decision by the linesman to get in there, as Lewis was still trying to throw some punches there. The last thing you want if you're Ilya Kissel and Lee Young is to get punched there, but really no surprise to see Springer and Lewis have a go.
I don't know what started that, Murph. I was looking down the other side of the ice, and all of a sudden they were both wrestling along the board, so who knows what started that, but 2 customers who don't back down, and you can see why the gloves were off.
Lyndon Springer, 57 penalty minutes in the Challenge Cup, another 10 in league play. Well, you can see there at the blue line.
Yeah, I mean, Springer finished his hit off on Lewis. Lewis wasn't too happy about it. Probably thought it was a little bit late and reacted to that. There they go. Lewis went back at Springer, and the gloves are off.
Mark Lewis in his 5th year with Cardiff, 6 penalty minutes in league play. At 6'4" and 220 pounds, a tough character. Lyndon Springer at 6'1", a little bit smaller, but I don't think Springer ever backs down.
If they're that close, but when they're that close, they're already tangled there. That could get dangerous. Someone falls, it's gone. 5s each. We'll move on without it. It's 5s each. So face-off stays inside.
Come on, let's just get over there.
I got it.
Steph Hogarth mic'd up in this one. And always nice to hear those interactions between the officials and the players.
Yeah. They'll take that off. It's 5-on-5.
Face-off will be to the left of Matt Ginn. Springer and Lewis. 5 each for fighting. Here's Waller. Waller sends it across to Register. Register with a little dangle. Sends it across. Register calling for it. Richardson decides to shoot. It's a smart decision as Dixon was in front looking for a rebound and a tip.
Yeah, smart play there. Traffic in front, just get the wrist shot in, hope for a tip. Unfortunately, they couldn't get a tip on that, but Ginn handles it well and just holds on to the puck. No second chances there. You can see as Dixon's heading to the front trying to get his stick on it.
Dixon digging in against Adam Brady. Brady played in the East Coast Hockey League for Kansas City last year at 17 goals. We highlighted him off the top as he already has 5 goals combined between League and Challenge Cup with his new squad, the Storm. Dixon dishes it off to Waller. Back to Richardson. Richardson with a shot. Ginn through traffic made a nice save. Register. Back to the captain. Richardson. That's a set play as it's more of a pass than a shot as he thought there was a redirect coming from Dixon. Again, they go that way. Dixon camped out in front. That shot is wide. Reed back to Register. They whip it around. It's 5-on-5 hockey here. Almost looks like a power play for the Devils. Richardson, tap pass for the smooth, silky skating Waller. Brady with a great stick there, but it's kept in. Looked like Brady was going to clear the puck, but Reed had other ideas. On the second time of asking, it'll be the captain, Dallas Earhart. Earhart wants to lug the puck forward. Drops it off to Fawcett. Fawcett with a shot right on, and Tyson Fawcett denied by Carruth.
Yeah, good shot from Fawcett, but not enough traffic in front really to trouble Carruth on that one. But good idea, just crossing behind your man, receiving that pass and taking a quick shot, tried to squeeze it between the legs of Carruth, but Carruth closes that down.
Digging into the dot now, Simmons. Simmons versus Davis. Davis wins, well, a bit of a false start by Ben Davis, says the linesman. Ilya Kissel. And they'll do it all again. Davis doesn't agree. Thought he had won it cleanly. They will go again. And, well, the same result. Good face-off win from Davis to Mikkelsen. Davis calling for it through the middle. Bounced off the heel of his stick. Picked up by Hazeldine. To Simmons, to Critchlow. Critchlow took a shoulder there from Crandall. Here's Simmons. Drops it back to Hazeldine. Hazeldine, well, maybe one move too many, but also a good poke check from Mikkelsen. The shot redirected in front, didn't get through. As Critchlow, the right idea, just trying to punch it through. Here's Davis. Davis dangles around Fawcett. Gets it ahead to Crandall. Crandall throws on the brakes, takes a bump from Wilson. O'Connor with a lovely move. O'Connor in front for Cox. And O'Connor with a lovely dangle, and then he runs over Wilson. Great shift from O'Connor. O'Connor with another big hit. This time he sits down Simmons. Well, there's a burr in the saddle of Ben O'Connor. He sends it along to Batch. What a shift from 12 in red. Here's Crandall. Lovely move by O'Connor and a couple of big hits. Here's Fawcett, though, breaking up the play for the Storm. He will wheel forward and dump it in as again Manchester make changes. Here's Batch. D to D to Ben O'Connor. Sends it quickly up ice. What a shift from Ben O'Connor.
Yeah, what a move. He just completely dangled his opponent, left him standing in his boots, and then a couple of big hits. So good start from O'Connor in this one.
Batch sends the puck on. Here's Dupont. Lamon. Sullivan keeps him to the outside. Good defensive work from Sullivan. Sends it ahead. He was looking for Morgan. Liam Morgan, a former Belfast Giant. And that'll be an icing call against the Manchester Storm. We got Curtis Hamilton and Liam Morgan, both former Giants. And a face-off in the Storm zone coming up.
Well, you can see what the Storm are doing. They're playing a road game here. They're just trying to stay in the first period, trying to find those bus legs. And if they can get out of this period 0-0, I think they'd be pretty happy.
Finley Ulrich couldn't get the draw against Dupont. Here's Lamon. Lamon. Shot. I'm not sure Ginn saw it through the screen of Dupont, but the shot was wide. Here's Register. Register with a shot redirected by Lamon as he tried to get body position on McNulty. Dupont out front. Lamon can't get him the puck, so Dupont comes and gets it himself. And McNulty with another good defensive stick there. Now here comes Liam Morgan. Morgan sent the puck along. McLeod was poke checked by Register. Register settling things down as he always does for the Devils. Gets it along to Dupont. Dupont knifes it in on the backhand. Here's Valdix, former Sheffield Steeler. Is Andreas Valdix, former Washington Capitals draft pick way back in 2003. Here's Dixon. Dupont goes to the front of the net. They go back to the captain, Richardson. O'Connor takes his time at the left point. Sent it along for Brody Reed, who leads the Premier Sports Elite League in goals with 8. Here's Hamilton, though. Hamilton to Van Wormer. Van Wormer, long-range shot, punched away by the right hand of Carruth, and Hamilton has to deal with Dixon. Dealt with it well, got it along to Brady. Coming right back at him was Ben O'Connor. Ben O'Connor is really fired up for this one. Here comes Waller. Waller away from Hamilton. Waller into the corner. Dixon trying to put it along there. It came off of Mickelson's shin pad, and now Hamilton will get the puck out. Waller flying early on for the Devils. Tape to tape with Register. Back with Waller. Josh Waller being hunted down by Brady. But look at Waller, strong on the stick, trying to walk the captain of the Storm, Earhart. But Earhart says, not on my watch.
Oh, Earhart just at the last second was able to get a piece of that puck. But Waller took him on. I like to see that. Sometimes challenge the D.
Here's Earhart to Simmons, trying to put it back. Register gets in the way. Broken up there as it looked like Wilson was going to keep the puck in. Here's Cox. Drops it back to Reed. Dixon goes to the front of the net. Cox for Register. Register's going to have to back check now. Good stick by Register. Gets it along for Cox. Cox with a chance up and over the left hand of Matt Ginn. What a sequence there from Register. Looked like he was going to be caught. Looked like there was a 2-on-1 coming for the Storm, but what a stick lift by Register. They come right back in. Here's Crandall. 9:40 remaining in the period. Crandall couldn't keep the puck moving forward. Cox will play it back. Batch. D to D. O'Connor back to Batch. Cox sends it out wide. Going to the front of the net is Davis. Crandall couldn't get the puck through to him. Davis in front with the redirect, but Ginn got the goalie paddle across. Here's Cox trying to get it out front. Incredible pace to this first period. Still scoreless between the Storm and the Devils. 9:05 remaining in the first period. Cox slides it along. Mark McNulty got a stick on that. Davis, though, comes in to try and find it. McNulty will rumble up the left side. Sends it out wide past Harry Gulliver. The youngster Gulliver in his second year with the Storm. Here is Gulliver. Gulliver with a chance. Gulliver with a shot. Oh, it just went under the blocker of Matt Carruth. Here's Hazeldine. Hazeldine sends it right up the gut. Brady tried a little cut back there, but Duggan got in the way. Lamon now. 8.5 remaining in a scoreless first period. Duggan to Mickelson. Good stop by Ginn. Lamon was right in his eye line, and Mickelson, we know he's got that NHL release. Lamon back to Richardson. To Lamon. Here's Mickelson. Brendan Mickelson to Dupont. Dupont out front. through a sea of legs all the way back to Richardson, cycling the puck well. DuPont with a shot, and a brilliant block by Brady.
Yeah, great play from him. We're talking about him offensively, but there he makes a great defensive play. But the Devils continue a very strong pace here in the first period, Murph. Good cycling, decrossing on the blue line, making it really tough on Manchester to stay with them while they're in the offensive zone.
Important to note, this is the third game. They played Thursday, they beat Dundee. Manchester, they beat Belfast 3-0 last night. So this is their third game of the week, these Manchester Storm. It's the first game for Cardiff, and you kind of see it. The legs for Cardiff are rested and ready to go here on home ice. But give the Storm credit, as you said, they're playing a road game. They know they have to bend a little bit here, trying not to break, as Waller and company come racing forward again. Great stick by Ulrich. Ulrich sends it along to Fawcett. Fawcett and Critchlow. Critchlow with the shot, and Carruth will hold on. What an opening. First period here on Premier Sports. We'll step aside for a quick break. No score between Cardiff and Manchester. 7:20 to go in the first period. Scoreless between Cardiff and Manchester. Shots on goal, Devils 8, Storm 6. And as we expected, some good goaltending between Carruth and Ginn. And certainly a breakneck-paced first period thus far on Premier Sports. Here's Earhart. Earhart gets the shot through. Good traffic in front from Critchlow and Carruth as Register tries to A-frame over the puck. Carruth will get down and cover up.
Yeah, good job from Manchester. They win the draw pretty clean off Dixon, who doesn't lose too many. But then they get the shot to net with traffic in front. Everyone's driving to the front of the net, trying to make it tough on Carruth.
Don't forget, you can reach out at Premier Sports TV, at Murph on Ice, at Chris Ellis, and at P8022. Anything can happen. Paul 80 is on Twitter. And, of course, at Caitlin Sports as well. Caitlin will be with us Friday in Nottingham. Fawcett goes to the front of the net. Here's Springer. Springer with the shot. Oh, well, it caused some problems for Carruth. Springer follows up. And Springer, you talk about off the top, yes, he's a character who plays with a lot of grit, but he's not afraid to jump into the play and try and create some offense as well.
Well, this is the Storm defense have done this a few times, especially on the left side. Springer comes down that time, gets a scoring opportunity. Hazeldine has found some space down that left side coming up the ice, so it's an area where they're finding some space right now, Murph.
And no doubt maybe Springer will be involved again. I saw him and Lewis as they came out of the box having words. No surprise. Here's O'Connor to Crandall. Lovely little tip play by Crandall to Cox. Out wide goes Davis. Davis had it poked away from him from his Team GB teammate Earhart. Davis strong on the stick though. Davis across the goal mouth, too far for Cox. Brendan Mickelson with the shot. Came off of Fawcett and went wide. Here's Ben Davis. Ben Davis on the backhand couldn't jam it in on Ginn, and it will be sent up and out by Earhart. Brendan Mickelson, 131 NHL games played in his career. Gains the red line, dumps it in. Here's Springer. Springer chops at it. Up the left side, Batch. Batch had to sidestep a hit from Van Wormer, and that will be offside Storm.
Well, Davies had a great shifter, carried the puck into the offensive zone around, just went almost around the whole offensive zone, and made a great pass to Cox, who was in front. He didn't see it come through the bodies and just missed it. Otherwise, he would have had an open net, but great job from Davies just controlling the puck till he found someone open.
Face-off just outside the Devils line. Here's Register. Big hit by Wilson, stepping up on DuPont. DuPont appears to be shaken up. And we know the Storm don't mind playing physical, and we saw it there from Wilson. Lammett at the right point. Dumps it in for DuPont. He seems to be okay after he got stepped up on there by Ben Wilson. Wilson, well, he sidestepped into Duggan, and Wilson has had 3 or 4 big hits in this game. He's been involved. Wilson now under pressure from Duggan. Duggan put another shoulder into him. Here's Hazeldine. Hazeldine out wide to Hamilton. Hamilton sends it in. Well, just waving at it there was Ulrich. 2 goals in league play for Finley Ulrich. He just couldn't direct that towards the goal. Here's Hazeldine. D-to-D with Sullivan. Ulrich, the intended recipient there, but it's intercepted by Dixon. Here's Waller, back to Dixon. Dixon double clutches off the chest of Ginn. Coming in his Register, he fakes the shot. Cycles into the corner. The Devils have had plenty of zone time. Here's Richardson. Reed, excellent puck movement by the Devils on this shift. Register to Richardson. Dixon's camped out in front. Register decides to go back. He was looking for Waller, but it will be Richardson. Richardson in front. Dixon got a piece of it, and another stop there by Matt Ginn.
Yeah, it was a great stop, but Dixon made a great move. He stopped and then went, and he fooled the forward Morgan on that play, got away from him just enough to get a tip in there. So some good movement from Dixon in the offensive zone to get a scoring opportunity.
Register gains the red line, rims it around. Springer falls into Davis. Simmons will play it out to Fawcett. Fawcett, real speedster, gets it to Earhart. Earhart with a long-range wrist shot, and Carruth will hold on.
Yeah, nice play from Earhart, just shooting through bodies, shooting through the goalie when he was screened, when the shot first came in. Carruth does find it eventually, but you can see here Dixon, he stops and then he goes and he gets the stick on that tip and just got away from Morgan for a split second. Luckily, Ginn was ready for that. Nice little pass back here. Dixon gets a big shot in there again. Ginn makes another nice save, but nobody in front. Goalie sees it all the way.
The likes of Ginn and Carruth are going to stop those shots, but certainly for Dixon, the right play there. You're either going to get the rebound or the face-off in the offensive zone, and we talked about it, the Devils 54% in face-off so far this season. We're right back in on offense now. Davis couldn't get the shot through. Fawcett and Simmons getting in his way. Scott Simmons wheeling away. Fawcett going to the front of the net. No rebound on the shot from Critchlow. Let's head down ringside. Chris Ellis.
Thanks, Murph. Very interesting to see how the coaches reacted in that TV timeout. Ryan Finnerty to my right. I'm just by the bench here, the Manchester bench. He was very animated, got his players in really close and was really telling them what to do. On the other side, Jared Scoldy, maybe less animated, but drawing up plays on his whiteboard there. Really fascinating to see the different styles of the two coaches in that timeout.
DuPont slides it ahead for Lamb, and you know both these guys want the points against their former colleague. If you're just tuning in, Ryan Finnerty actually played under Jared Scoldy earlier in their career, and it's ironic that he left Jared Scoldy to come play for Neil Francis and the Cardiff Devils. Neil Francis, the assistant coach for Jared Scoldy now. Mike Moran, of course, the assistant coach for the Storm. Kept in by O'Connor. Redirected by Valdix. Valdix trying to find his form now. Gets knocked over by Wilson. And Wilson continues his abrasive play. Hazeldine trying to keep Lammen to the outside. Van Vormer will send it up into the neutral zone. Here's Lewis. Lewis had a fight with Springer earlier. Tape to tape with Lammen. Dumped in for Ginn with 2:55 remaining in a scoreless first period. Fantastic hockey game, a sellout at Ice Arena Wales. Hope you're enjoying this one on Premier Sports, the Premier Sports Elite League. Sullivan ahead for McLeod, bounced away from him. Here's Brody Reed, top goal scorer, top point getter in Elite League play thus far. Here's Richardson, the captain, calm, cool, and collected as always. And here comes Dixon, the long flowing locks of number 11 in red. For Waller. Waller pushed off the puck there by McNulty, who's had a good period defensively for the Storm. Here's Finley Ulrich. Ulrich with a nice move, and he's going to draw a penalty as well. Ginn will go to the box for the extra skater. Sullivan will keep it in. 6-on-5 now. Delayed penalty coming up against the home side. Richardson will touch up, and we'll get our first power play of the game. It'll go to Manchester.
Well, Ulrich does a good job. He comes across the blue line, and as he's looking between the defensemen, he fakes, he's going to pass it off and then drives through the middle. And that's why then there's the reaction, the hook, a bit of a whack, and next thing you know, the Devils are in the penalty box. Big opportunity for the Storm because they haven't really had a lot of pressure, a lot of offensive zone time. Watch here, a little fake, and then he goes just enough to get a little hook and slash in there and draw a penalty.
Register in the box for the Devils. Cardiff have been really good on the penalty kill. The best penalty kill in league play at 90.9%. Is Cardiff. Manchester 20% on the power play in league play, and they had a great chance there as Brady was on the back post, couldn't find the handle. Here's Van Wormer. So the top penalty killing team thus far in league play, the Devils. Got a little bit lucky right there, is not able to find the handle. The dangerous character Brady. Here's Hamilton. Hamilton sends it into the corner. Van Wormer goes to the front of the net. Morgan calling for it at the right point. 4 forwards on the power play for Ryan Finnerty. Lewis gets sidestepped by Van Warmer. Back to Morgan. Morgan will have to backtrack against Davis. Morgan with a good keep, a couple of good keeps at that right point. Here's Hamilton. Hamilton and Morgan, two former Belfast Giants. Van Warmer with the jam play. Ruth got the pad down and across, and it will be skated away by Ben Davis. Davis looks up, sees a minute remaining in the power play, a minute remaining in the period. Davis looking for some short-handed offense here. Register in the box. And a great shift from Davis, and the sold-out crowd at Ice Arena Wales acknowledges that.
Yeah, he just hung on to the puck for an extra 10-15 seconds, which, you know, and then went for a line change, so they had enough time to make the change also. So smart hockey from Davis.
The power play clock and the period clock almost in unison, just the 1 second in the difference. There's McLeod trying to work his way down the left side. DuPont will find it and dump it down. 20 seconds remaining in the period. Here's Mark McNulty, a former Detroit Red Wings draft pick. Drops it back to Fawcett. Dixon finishes his hit on McNulty. Mickelson against Simmons. Great body position from Mickelson, keeping Simmons to the outside. And a good recovery from Mickelson as he lost an edge. Trying to keep that puck in was Critchlow, couldn't do it. Knocked over by Waller. And the buzzer will sound, and what an opening period at Ice Arena Wales. It will be scoreless after 20 minutes of play, but some action.
Yeah, really good first period. I mean, the Devils did have the majority of the play, especially in the offensive zone, created some good movements, some good cycles, and they had trouble getting to the front of the net, though. Give the defense for Manchester credit. They boxed out well, made it tough for Cardiff to get to the front of the net when the shots were coming in. Allowed Ginn a lot of time to see the puck, and he was able to hang on to a lot of those, not give any second chances. Overall, probably Cardiff were the better team, but Manchester played a good road first period, sat back a little bit, waited for the opportunity on their transition to try to create some scoring opportunities. They had a bit of a chance on the power play on that redirect to Brady. It just went wide. But overall, the Devils are in control of this game so far, Murph.
Linden couldn't do it. It's Zach Sullivan.
Let's head down. Zach Sullivan is live ringside with our own Chris Ellis.
Zach, what about the first period? How happy are you how things have gone?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good road period for us, right? We've even on better after the first. There's obviously some things we can clean up on, and yeah, I'm sure Finner will talk us through those things in a break, and you know, sharpen up our D zone a little bit, jump on pucks a little bit quicker, and we'll come out flying for the second.
They're a very good side, Cardiff, especially at home. What does it take to win in this building?
Yeah, I mean, since they came in this building, it's always been tough to come here. In the big blue tent, it was even harder to come there. So, you know, you got to turn off for 60 minutes, and you got to be willing to get into the gritty areas and drive the net and play the game the hard way. And you know, Finner's teams were always built to play their game the hard way. So, you know, we relish the challenge.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Great to hear from Zach Sullivan. Scoreless after 20 minutes at Ice Arena Wales. Cardiff and Manchester, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with first intermission analysis after this quick break. It's a really good opening 20 minutes of hockey here between the Devils and the Storm, and 11-10 the shots on goal in favor of the Storm. They get the power play in the dying moments. They played very well for a team that, I mean, you have an excuse that you're tired after already playing 2 Thursday and again last night, coming in here with 2 straight wins, but they do not look like a tired team at all right now, the Manchester Storm.
No, I mean, they're keeping it simple, and they're trying to conserve energy just even on their breakout where they have the left wing stretching for the long pass. So that always keeps one guy, you know, not moving all that much in the breakout. Even their power play breakout, they're going with 2 guys stretching at the far blue line. So those guys aren't working that hard on the breakout either. So, I mean, Ryan Finnerty's put in a game plan not to have to overskate, let's say, in the first period.
And credit where it's due, Cardiff, they haven't played this week, so 3 games, third game in 4 days for these Manchester Storm. First game for Cardiff. Cardiff came shooting out of the starting blocks, and it was the intensity we noted early on here at Ice Arena Wales, because it's not for the faint of heart out here right now.
No, I mean, you can see the Devils were quick to get on the forecheck, and I mean, early fight in the game. There was a hit along the boards, and Lewis and Springer go at it. I mean, they didn't really get loose. They were both hanging on and trying to get some shots away, but they're 2 big, strong guys, and there's certainly, you know, once they grab a hold of one another, there's not that much going on.
Lee Young and Ilya Kissel, much braver than you or I as they jump in there between two tough hombres. We talked a lot about Brodie Reid in the pregame show because this is a guy who's got 8 goals in league play, 2 in the Challenge Cup. He was good in the Champions Hockey League as well, but you would have thought that if he had a chance like this, it would have been 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was just good movement in the offensive zone from the Devils. They used the points a lot right there. The puck just rolls a little bit on them and just couldn't get that shot through to the net. So it was, but again, I thought the Devils did a good job in the offensive zone. There's a lot of movement up top. They always had that third forward high. Defensemen were activating, crossing on the blue line. They're making it really tough on Manchester to stay with them in the offensive zone. Overall, Manchester did a pretty good job forcing as many shots to the outside. And when shots did come in from the blue line or from the middle, they did a good job boxing out, allowing Ginn to see the puck. So overall, defensively, they did a good job, but Cardiff also offensively created some opportunities.
It was a great pass by Richardson. We always forget how good offensively he is because he's so good defensively, the captain of the Devils. There were chances aplenty for the Manchester Storm as well. As we mentioned, they lead the shots on goal tally 11-10 in 20 minutes of play, and it was the combatant with Lewis. Springer with a chance.
Yeah, Springer got a good shot in there. He followed up the play quickly, and there's nobody picked him up. Everyone was coming back to help out at the net, and he got a free shot in there with a bit of traffic, but Carruth makes a good solid save here, good positional save, and eventually he's able to, well, the puck wasn't scooped up, but the referee lost sight of it, so he blew the play down. But overall, I mean, Carruth was solid also. Didn't have as much action, but he still had to stay in the period and make a few saves.
So as billed, 2 good periods from 2 very good goalies. And something we've really enjoyed so far, the coach-to-coach feature. And this is a special one. Paul Adey goes live and in depth, or not live, he spoke to you earlier, but straight into that Cardiff Devils dressing room, coach-to-coach with Jared Scaldi.
Jared Scaldi, head coach for the Cardiff Devils, joining us on Premier Sports. Gerald, it must have felt like a long walk on the Silk Road to China before you actually got on the bench for the Cardiff Devils in the Champions Hockey League.
Yeah, there was so much anticipation from getting the job last September, end of August, September, and then, you know, the anticipation of some good news potentially of playing, and then that would kind of get delayed, and then, you know, maybe getting into the series. You know, that never happened. So it just kept, you know, high hopes to disappointments from that end. And then, of course, finally getting over here and getting settled, and then about to coach the team for the first time in Champions League, and then getting COVID. It was very, it was frustrating. It was disappointing. It was something I've never gone through. It was just a surreal time for myself and for the whole hockey team.
Champions Hockey League, I mean, it's always a tough competition for the elite league teams. The depth of the rosters of the other clubs, it certainly makes it tough on a coach, you know, to deal with that throughout the Champions Hockey League.
It definitely is. I mean, they come at you at waves. I mean, the Mannheim hockey team is extremely a well-built team, well-coached team, as is Lausanne. And, you know, there's challenges throughout the game. It seems one mistake and it's in the back of your net. So it's at times it felt like we had to play a near-perfect game. But our response after the first game, losing at home here to Mannheim and then responding with a big win against Lausanne, was such a big lift for our guys and our organization as a whole. So, you know, it gave us some confidence going into the other games. And, of course, we played Lausanne pretty tight in their building, 2-0 score, and moving into Luco, it was a different type of CHL after starting our season, playing some Challenge Cup games, and then reverting back to the CHL. So, you know, there's some challenges there, but I felt we were a little bit more prepared, a little bit more ready for what we were about to take.
And the Elite League, how do you think, what do you think going into the Elite League, the level of the play, the team you signed, how are you feeling about all that?
Well, first of all, the level of play is highly underrated. There's such good teams and such good players in this league, and it's such a competitive league. Every night you're faced with almost a different style of an opponent, whether it's, you know, going into Sheffield or playing in Manchester or playing a super fast Guildford team. I mean, so you have to be ready every night, because whether you're at home or in the different buildings around the league, it's such a competitive league with talented players, and you know, there's just a lot of speed in this league now.
I mean, Cardiff itself, a great franchise, a great team over the years, great fans, a great city. You must like it here. I mean, it's hard not to like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right from day one, I do truly believe that Todd sets the table for everybody, from the coaching staff to the players, and importantly to the wives too, that are a big part of this, and children. So the way the players have been treated, and myself and my family since we arrived here in Cardiff in Wales, has been just incredible. incredible, and the professionalism that how the organization is run. So there's a responsibility here on all our parts, and myself as a coach, to win and develop players. And I believe the players understand that, how important it is to have success here in Cardiff after what's been built here. And you know what, a lot of us have been given a lot, and there's a lot of expectations on us.
Well, Jared, thanks for joining us, and have a great game tonight.
Great, thanks a lot.
Jared Scaldi, a stylish guy. He'd fit in very well in my neck of the woods in Dublin with a hat like that. But you get the sense, first off, thanks to Todd Kelman and everyone here at the Cardiff Devils for all the access, as we had in all of our visits so far in the Premier Sports Elite League. But you get the sense that Jared Scaldi was happy. He would have talked for hours about hockey, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty laid back about the whole thing, and well, he's been around the game a long time. He's been a successful player and a successful coach, so he's got a lot to say, which is nice. When you're doing an interview and the coach got a lot to say, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it, Murph?
He's certainly a likable character, and you made a good point. It was a long time from the time he got the job to finally getting behind the bench, whether it's the pandemic and then getting COVID himself. He's certainly breathing a sigh of relief to finally be on that bench for the Cardiff Devils. Scoreless after 20 minutes of play here, 11-10, the shots on goal in favor of the Storm. We'll be back with live second period action after this quick break. Back, second period action on the docket, scoreless between Cardiff and Manchester. 0 for 1 on the power play for the Storm, out shooting Cardiff 11-10. One thing that man will want to tidy up, Ryan Finnerty. Cardiff 77% in the face-off dot in the opening 20. Premier Sports Elite League action continues this coming Friday, October 29th. Nottingham host Belfast, our Halloween edition, 7 p.m. pregame show, 7:30 p.m. face-off from Nottingham this coming Friday as they host the Belfast Giants. Can also tell you in the only other league game this afternoon, Sheffield 5, Fife 2. That is a final as Sheffield continuing their hot league play so far. Dixon will start things off. Second period action now, back to 5-on-5 after that penalty kill to see off the first period from Cardiff. Cardiff, the number one team on the penalty kill at over 90%, 90.9%. So special teams, they have been real good at. They're second on the power play as well, 31.3%. Haven't had a look on the power play as of yet.
Well, you can see Manchester against that breakout sitting back, 4 guys. They were on the blue line, but backing up with some speed and then making a decision how they're going to react to the pass. But only one guy deep off against the breakout of Cardiff.
Dixon will dig in. As mentioned, 77% of the face-off dot in the opening period for the Devils. But look at that, Van Warmer jumping through after the loss on the draw and nearly poked it underneath Carruth. Sometimes when you lose a face-off, you've got to do things to find something positive, and good job there. Here comes Brady. Brady to Hamilton. Hamilton off the post. Well, he had beaten Carruth, but not the iron. Lovely play by Brady and nearly finished off by Hamilton. Here's Waller. Waller with a little cutback. Waller to Reed. Reed with a shot blocked perfectly there by Ben Wilson, who's had a great game for the Storm.
Yeah, that was a great block. Got down. I think he got his feet on that one. Takes a goal-scoring opportunity away. Both teams getting some chances early. I mean, that was a great play from Brady to Hamilton for that shot. I mean, what Brady did well there, Murph, is he looked like he might shoot it, and then just in one movement passed it across for that shot. Puck went off the post. A real good scoring opportunity for Manchester, but just couldn't finish the play off.
There's the chance. Back the other way. Waller with a nice little cutback, and Reed. Well, that's a lovely block, as we mentioned, from Wilson. And it was off the iron. The other way is Hamilton. Curtis Hamilton has 2 goals in league play for the Storm. Ripped it off the post. Here's Simmons. Mickelson pushing forward, trying to pitchfork it away from Simmons. Davis. Davis takes on the backhand, tries to slot it in front for Crandall. Crandall takes a couple of whacks at it, but you guessed it, it's Ben Wilson again with a good defensive play. O'Connor to Mickelson. Mickelson with a shot on the button. It was a bit of a rolling puck. I don't think he got everything on that, Mickelson. Tries to send it across to O'Connor. O'Connor will have to backtrack. Tape to tape with Mickelson. Getting a skate on that was Cox, so no icing on the play. Ginn comes out. Ginn gives it away to Cox. Hazeldine trying to see Cox into the end wall. Wilson couldn't strip him of the puck. Here's Lamon. Lamon down low. What a chance outside there by Cox and Ginn. And Cox got plenty on that, and Ginn had the angle covered. Here comes Critchlow. O'Connor strips him, and O'Connor sends it along to Dupont, who's the player assistant coach for the Cardiff Devils. Here's Lewis. Lewis gains the red line, dumps it into the corner. Earhart up the right side. Not able to get it out was Brady. That's going to cause some problems as Lamon and company try and get to the front of the net, but it's great work there by Earhart. Here's Brady. Brady sends it, or Morgan rather, sends it across the goal mouth for Ulrich. Ulrich sidesteps a hit from Batch. Here comes Lamon. The back pressure from Lamon off the skate of Duggan. Duggan swings out wide. Earhart with that long reach kept him to the outside. Here's Dupont. Dupont had Dixon off the bench but couldn't get the puck to him. Back the other way. Well, we've got a penalty in behind the play. And it looks like it's going to be Lyndon Springer on the interference call.
Yeah, he hit Dupont a little bit late there, and the referee saw it and made the call just a few seconds late. And we'll watch here the replay. There's the hit, doesn't have the puck anymore. And yeah, the referee's going to call that every time. It's an obvious call there. Good opportunity here for the Devils on the power play, Murph.
Well, and they've been lights out, second in the league, 31.3%. Manchester, 77.8% of the penalty kill. We talked about Springer off the top. When he just sticks to hockey, very useful player. That's a bad penalty because there was a 3-on-2 developing for the Manchester Storm that's negated by a penalty that doesn't need to be taken. Here's the shot for Reed out front for Dixon. And again, Reed didn't get all of that, but slotted it across the goal mouth. But it's not a good penalty from Springer.
No, I mean, he's got to let up on that one. I know he's an aggressive player, likes to throw the body, but 2 or 3 seconds after the puck is moved, you have to not finish the check.
And like I mentioned, there was a 3-on-2 developing for the Storm that gets blown down. Simmons couldn't keep the puck. Here's Reed. Reed to Dixon. Crandall goes to the front of the net. Reed in constant motion. Back to Dixon. Reed with a chance off the outside of the net. Cox backhands it back to Crandall. 4 forwards on the power play. Here's Register. Register, the only defenseman. Tried to put the shot high. It came off of Hamilton. Hamilton finishes his hit on Cox. Here's Crandall to Register. Back to Crandall to the top of the circle. Out wide. Shot right on. Reed is denied. Well, Reed got all of that, but Ginn came across post to post.
Yeah, I think Ginn was ready for that. He's probably looked at the tapes a little bit to see where they look for Reed, who scores a lot of goals.
Chance now for Dupont. Oh, what a play there. Hazelton goes down on his stomach to poke it away from Dupont. Dupont goes and retrieves the puck, though. Here's O'Connor. O'Connor sends it along. Waller back to O'Connor. He's got Mickelson off the bench. Brendan Mickelson with a one-timer. Good screen in front from Dupont. McGinn again kept the puck out. Here's O'Connor. O'Connor with the shot. Dupont didn't get to him as Earhart made the partial block. 20 seconds remaining on the power play. Here's Waller. Waller with his shot shouldered away by Matt Ginn. Here's Dupont. Chips it along for Mickelson. Back to O'Connor. Ben O'Connor for Waller to Mickelson. Mickelson with a chance and a great stick there as Critchlow got enough of that to send it up and over the net. Springer's onto the penalty box. Pressure remains, so Mickelson with his shot. He had the top corner and just lofted it up and wide over the left hand of Ginn. 0 for 1 on the power play for Cardiff.
Well, Cardiff certainly had some good opportunities, but give the Storm credit. They've been getting in the shooting lanes. They've been helping out, blocking shots, doing everything to help Ginn on the penalty kill.
Listen to the low noise, the decibel level at Ice Arena Wales. Hope you get a sense of that at home. A sellout at Ice Arena Wales this evening. And a good bit of support for the Storm as well, but this is a loud Cardiff Devils crowd, and it's magnificent to see. Here's Morgan. Morgan slots it in. Batch collects it. Batch up the middle. Here's Lewis. Lewis and Batch, 2 big defenders. What a pairing this is for Jared Scaldi.
Yeah, I certainly don't. You don't enjoy going to the corners against these 2 big guys when they're out there, or the front of the net for that matter, Murph.
Here's Finley Ulrich, the GB under 20 in 2019-20. Valdix with the pressure, but it is sent down the other way to McLeod. McLeod with a shot, comes off the shin pad of Lewis. Here's Liam Morgan. Morgan had Waller coming for him. Here's McNulty. McNulty just offside. There's still no goals in this one. Not for lack of trying.
Well, McLeod was trying to get out of the zone, just couldn't get out in time before they brought the puck back in. That's why the offside was called, Murph. But obviously, you know, if you're Manchester, you want to try to get down the offensive zone, create some opportunities.
Brady got the draw, but Waller jumps through. That first step of Waller is impressive. Knocked over by McNulty. Here's Dixon, though. Dixon sends it along, back to Register. Register fans on the shot, and Van Wormer trying to play it through the middle of the ice, looking for Hamilton. Hamilton trying to poke that by Richardson. Perfect position from the Devils captain there. Sullivan ahead for Brady, picked up by Register. Bounce play to Richardson. Waller, poke checked away by Hamilton. Richardson with a lovely move, and Richardson, he saw Sullivan and went down, but he couldn't take advantage of that. Register into the corner. Here's Dixon. Dixon with a chance. Oh, another big stop by Ginn as Dixon looked to open the scoring here at Ice Arena, Wales. Waller, excellent puck movement from the Devils. Not able to take advantage of that opportunity was Reed and company, but now Register in his own zone, quickly ahead. Here's Reed. Reed out front. Not able to get a stick on that was Dixon as he was felled from behind. Register has to come outside the line. 12.5 remaining in the second period. Mickelson cuts back, goes up the left side to Crandall. Crandall's got Davis going to the front of the net. They come to the back post on a Cox. Cox with a shot. Rebound there for Davis. Davis hammering it and kept out by Ginn. My goodness, what a goaltending performance from the Manchester Storm star.
I mean, Ginn's been incredible here in the second period. The Devils have created some really good scoring opportunities. They've come quickly up the ice in their transition, but they've added a fourth player every time. Right there, Cox ends up getting the shot. Davies fighting in front, but Ginn kept his pad down on the ice. Even though he was in an awkward position, was able to keep the puck under his pad, and he's having an incredible second period here as the Devils pour on the pressure mark.
Face-off win by Critchlow. Here's Springer. Critchlow out wide. Critchlow with the shot, blockered away by Carruth. Critchlow sends it along for Simmons. Back to Springer. Play broken up by Davis. Davis tried to find Cox. Pass too far for him. Ben Davis stays with it. Took it from his skate. Sends it out wide. Cox tried to return the favor to Davis, but it's picked up by Earhart. Here's Critchlow. They catch the Devils on a line change, but Critchlow is denied by Carruth. Great headman play there by Earhart as they caught the Devils on a line change. Here's Davis. Davis right back the other way, goes around the captain. Earhart tried to find Cox. It bounced away from Lutwich. Here's Simmons. Kept outside by the long stick of Batch. Here's DuPont. Valdix had to jump back over the boards. Didn't want to get a 2-minute men on the ice penalty there as DuPont comes forward. Approaching the 9-minute mark of this second period. We thought the first period was played at breakneck pace. This is even quicker.
Yeah, it has been, and you know, you really got to watch out for those changes, Murph, especially the right winger and the right defenseman this period for the Devils.
Duggan trying to go around Hazeldine. Hazeldine puts a shoulder into him. DuPont takes a bump from Ben Wilson. Richardson at the right point will keep it in. Tried to slot it along for DuPont, but it was intercepted. Wilson will dump it in for Liam Morgan. Richardson. Liam Morgan came rumbling into him, but they get it away to Duggan on the right side. Duggan gave the puck away to Finley Ulrich. Ulrich motors into the corner. Richardson meets him. Two number 17s coming together in the corner. Here's Hamilton. Hamilton trying to play it back to the point to Sullivan. It came off a register and skips all the way out and past McNulty.
Well, a lot of these younger players for the Manchester Storm are under contract till 23-24 season. So Ryan Finnerty, I guess he looks at it, if I'm going to develop players, I want to keep them for a few years. I don't want other teams to come in and grab them, so he signed a lot of his young players.
Smart move indeed. Here's Waller. Waller around Sullivan. McNulty. Dixon trying to impede his progress, but McNulty gets it to Hamilton. Bounced away from him. Register to Reed. Waller really has the Jets on here this afternoon. Dixon backhands it into the corner. Reed with that quick first step out past Hamilton, takes it for a full revolution of the offensive zone. Reed back to the point. O'Connor quickly on for Mickelson. Mickelson Slots it into the right of Ginn. O'Connor comes in and one times that up and over the left shoulder of Ginn. It careens off the glass and all the way down.
Yeah, it's a really hard shot from O'Connor. Just couldn't catch the corner there. Wasn't on the best angle, so he just tried to rip it high over the shoulder of Ginn. But luckily for Ginn, it just went past him.
O'Connor up the middle. Right on the button down on Ginn. Here's Critchlow. Critchlow intercepted by Cox, but Simmons stays with it. Simmons down the left side. Puck just rolled on him and he loses an edge. Chance goes by the wayside for the Storm. O'Connor to Crandall, back to Davis. Springer breaks that play up. Springer on the second time of asking took it off the skate and it's ahead to Critchlow. Critchlow over the blue line, back for Springer. Springer rolls it in on Carruth. He'll hold on with 8:42 remaining in the second period. Don't touch that dial, folks. We'll be back on Premier Sports after this quick break. Welcome back to Ice Arena Wales. We'll head down ringside to Chris Ellis.
Yeah, just some injury news. Brodie Dupont of the Cardiff Devils went straight down the tunnel after his last shift, followed by the doctor. He's not come back out. And just one more thing, Matt Register, I've just noticed, he gets new gloves at the 10-minute mark of each period.
Great eyes, Chris Ellis. New gloves. You didn't get new gloves at the 10-minute mark in your day, Paulie. You were lucky if you got a new pair every 6 months, perhaps. We'll keep an eye out for Brodie Dupont as well. That would be a big miss for these Cardiff Devils. Batch slots it into the corner. Davis takes that off the shoulder, comes back to Crandall, who had to take it off the backhand. Waits for the screen to materialize. Tried to use Davis in front. Hazeldine had his stick tied up. Here's Cox. Cox back to Crandall. Crandall with a one-timer, turned aside by Ginn. And Matt Ginn at 5'11" is not the biggest goalie, but his angles are superior, and he's always out at the top of the blue paint.
Well, he reads the game very well. You're right. He's not the biggest at 5'11", but he certainly understands the game well.
Here's Cox. Swings out wide to Crandall. Crandall to Batch. Batch has plenty of numbers in front. Batch and the shot scores! A cannonading blast from Josh Batch. It's 1-0 Cardiff.
Good job from Batch because he comes across, has his head up, and he's waiting and waiting for traffic to get in front of the net where Ginn just can't completely see anything. And you'll watch here. Picks it up here and he comes to the middle, looks, and then fires it when there's lots of traffic in front of the net. And actually, to be honest, I think Ginn got screened more from his own teammate there. And he just didn't see that one, but that was a big blast from Batch. He got all of that, Murph.
A big blast from the big man, Josh Batch, and with 7:47 remaining in the second period, we have the opening goal of this one. Batch is first in league play. He has won in the Challenge Cup. Shots on goal, 19-14 in favor of the Devils. And that is a big shot and a big moment for the Devils. They really came out of the traps really quick here in the second period. And they're rewarded with a big goal from Batch.
Well, they certainly have dominated the second period, and Manchester's been hanging in here, doing a good job. They've been blocking shots and doing everything they can to help Ginn. But eventually the pressure from Cardiff has paid off for them, and they have a 1-0 lead here. So it's up to Manchester now to have a good reaction.
Another face-off win. Here's Duggan. Crandall and Cox with assists on Batch's goal. And they're back in for more. Trying to slot that along to the back post. And getting in the way perfectly on that occasion was Lutvich. Here's McNulty. Slides it along. Richardson gets there first. Here's Valdix. Valdix sends it along to the Storm blue line. Glove down by Earhart. Tape to tape with Lyndon Springer. Springer dumping it past Valdix. Trying to get away from Richardson. Simmons now. Simmons with a little wraparound chance off the shoulder of Carruth and nearly fell to his left, but it came off the outside of the post. Here's the shot from the captain. Well, Earhart thought he had a screen in front. The Register wraps up his man, and Carruth will hold on.
Yeah, I was watching Springer in front. He did a good job. He got the puck deep, pushed it behind it, then went to the front of the net to make it tough on Carruth, although Carruth kept his positioning. Springer was a good screen in front, but then I think Mickelson got all over on top of him once he went to the net. There was a good battle in front from the two of them right there. You can see Mickelson puts Springer down to the ice, and then he doesn't let him up. I mean, could have been a call there for holding Murph, but it just got tangled up. And again, Carruth sees that well and makes the save. But
Not a bad play from Springer, just to make something happen in front of the net.
Well, like we said, when he does those things, he's very effective. When he stays out of that penalty box, the hard-nosed player goes to the front of the net. He had to be dealt with. Register gave him a little bit of a chop. And Carruth had to make a pretty good save.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get traffic in front. Of course, you don't want to go in and take a penalty on the goalie because that would be the worst-case scenario. But if you're a defenseman, you dump the puck in, you see you still have possession, and you know your forward's covering at the blue line, not a bad idea if you're strong like Springer is to go to the front of the net.
Simmons wins the face-off, but jumping through is Waller. Josh Waller, he's got Reed joining him on the rush. Waller trying to go to the backhand. Earhart kept him to the outside. Here's Mickelson. Mickelson with a shot. Redirect by Dixon. Came off the shaft of his stick and bounced away. Here's Critchlow. Critchlow sends it out wide for Simmons. O'Connor tracking him well. O'Connor puts him down into the corner. Waller, pass intended for him too far. Off the stick of Mickelson. Here's Hazeldine. 14 minutes gone in the second period. Cardiff 1, Manchester no score. Batch his first from Crandall with his 5th assist. Cox with his 3rd helper. 7:47 left in the second when that blast from the point beat Ginn. Plenty of traffic in front. That's the only way you're going to beat Carruth or Ginn, is to have those bodies in front. Brady had the puck bounce away from him, and the goal scorer Batch will dump it up and down, but that's an icing call against the home side.
Well, one thing the Devils have done well offensively in this game is when they've come across the blue line and carried the puck deep, they've curled up the boards. They haven't thrown the puck away. They've bought time for their teammates coming up the ice, hitting defensemen coming late. So the willingness sometimes to, take a little check along the boards to make a play has worked for them, especially in the second period.
Van Wormer versus Dixon wins the faceoff to Hamilton. And a block there. Reed is slow to get up as the puck is sent down. Not enough for icing. Here's McNulty. Intercepted by Lewis. McNulty follows up on the play. Delayed offside from McNulty and company. Live NHL later tonight on Premier Sports. An Original 6 matchup. Detroit at Chicago from midnight on Premier Sports 1. Check premiersports.com for all NHL listings.
Well, Lewis did a good job on that breakout from the Storm. He realized the left wing was stretching on the breakout, so he stepped up straight away, got his stick on the pass, and broke the play up, not giving Manchester an opportunity to set anything up.
Here's McNulty. Tucked in behind Ginn. Batch steps up from the point. Batch to Cox. Cox with his shot, and a big block there. McNulty bravely going down in front of the Cox shot. And give the Manchester Storm credit. There have been some big shot blocks from the visitors so far this evening at Ice Arena Wales. Here's Cox. Crandall now trying to work it back to Davis. Hamilton trying to poke check him. They put it back to Batch. It's poke checked out. Good active stick by Liam Morgan.
Yeah, good job from him. And defensively, the Storm have done a lot of good things, and especially blocking the shots. I mean, if it hasn't been for their block shot and willingness to get in those shooting lanes and doing a good job that way, they could be down easily, 3-4-0.
Here's McLeod. Wade McLeod, 1 assist in league play thus far. Takes a bump from Lewis. Morgan chases it into the corner against Richardson. Here's Valdix. Duggan, back to Richardson. And a good stick again by Morgan. Richardson with a great defensive play. Springer sent it into the corner. Liam Morgan for McLeod. Duggan does a good job there, A-framing over the puck. Springer, D-to-D, a chance in front. Well, trying to poke it home now is Morgan. There's a penalty coming up on the play. Lewis will touch up. Looks like a power play coming for Manchester.
Yeah, Morgan certainly got a little piece of it, but he couldn't pull it across to get a good scoring opportunity. A good job from the Storm, just crashing net. Puck goes across, quick shot comes in. You can see guys driving to net, looking for rebounds, hunting for rebounds. The puck, unfortunately, for the Manchester Storm just didn't lie down there. For Morgan's trying to get it here, and a good play there from Carruth to get the stick out and just to push that puck away from the front of the net. So a smart stick play from Carruth on that one. Duggan goes to the penalty box.
Duggan will take the penalty. Sometimes there's such thing as a good penalty, and when there's a chance in front for someone like Liam Morgan, you better put a stick or a body on him, and Duggan will sit for 2 or less. 3:45 remaining in the second period. Second power play for Ryan Finnerty's men. They are 0 for 1, of course, thus far. Davis Hit by Simmons. Here's McNulty. Rim it around. Looking for McLeod. Simmons, though. Simmons wrapped up by Richardson. Fawcett back to the point. They'll swing it out wide to McNulty. McNulty with the shot. Trying to get the stick on that was Simmons, and Carruth turns it into the corner. McNulty for Critchlow. Back to the defenseman, McNulty right on the shot. Turned aside by Carruth. Big rebound for Critchlow. Cross for Fawcett. Fawcett, a righty on the left side. Tried to get the shot through, but it was blocked by Mickelson. Here's Critchlow to Fawcett. He turns back up the half wall, back to Critchlow. Critchlow to the top of the circle. Critchlow with the shot. Blocked there by Richardson. Can't get it out. McNulty with the shot. Bobbles around in front as Simmons got a piece of it. And Carruth breathes a sigh of relief as that puck never got to the goal mouth.
Oh, I thought Carruth actually made the save in the end, but maybe you're right. Maybe it was a defenseman that knocked the puck down. But again, good power play though from Manchester. They moved it around well, got some good shots from the point, especially from McNulty. 6'7" McNulty firing some good wrist shots in there.
Here's Hamilton. Hamilton swings it on. Here's Van Wormer. Van Wormer tries to go back to Hamilton, but Lewis got it his way. Batch chops at it and uses his strength to get it ahead to Cox. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Cox and Waller. Waller score! Josh Waller! Shorthanded goal, Cardiff. It's Waller's second league goal of the season, and it was spectacular.
Well, you talk about having opportunities at one end, and then all of a sudden the puck goes the other way quickly. But it's the speed of Cox and Waller who just get past the defense for Manchester, creating it to a nice play from Cox here. Delays once, pulls it back, and passes it across to Waller. Completely fooling in on this play. And then Waller just buries that, has half the net to finish that off. But came from the speed, Murph, being able to head down the ice on that 4-on-5 quickly and making things happen.
He is the real deal, Josh Waller. Goals in the Champions Hockey League, goals in league play. Magnificent finish, shorthanded. Speed kills, and Cox and Waller put on a clinic right there. Cox's second assist of the game. Here's Batch. Lamon will chase it down. Lamon just trying to see out the rest of Duggan's penalty and does so. So 0 for 2 on the man advantage for the Storm. And a shorthanded goal for Waller. Duggan out of the penalty box and active straight away. Richardson with a shot. Duggan trying to poke it home. Duggan will send it back to Register. Good keep at the left point. Here's Richardson. Drags and shoots left, the puck behind, and Van Wormer stays with it and pokes it out.
Well, you see Cardiff are trying to get that third one here, trying to really put the pressure on Manchester. They continue to move the puck up the ice quickly and create some quick scoring opportunities. Again, look, trying to go for a long pass and then little chip pass and then trying to create some odd man rushes here, Murph.
Here's Richardson. Gains the line, flips it on to Reed. Reed tries to go outside of Wilson. Wilson has had an excellent game for the Storm this afternoon. Hazeldine trying to work it along. Here's Richardson. Sends it along for Register. Register. The fake windup goes back to Richardson. Richardson with his shot redirected high off the glass as Reed got a stick on that. Here is Reed. Back to Mickelson. Mickelson with his shot. Another big block. And certainly the Storm have been brave in blocking those shots, and Gulliver limps off after blocking the Mickelson bomb. Reed tried to work the puck on there. It's intercepted by Fawcett. Fawcett and McLeod trying to come back quickly for the Storm, but it's broken up by Crandall. Here's Reed. Poke check by Springer. Off the skate of Simmons, down to 15 seconds remaining in the second period, and Fawcett is offside. Batch and Waller in the second period, but the Storm, well, they keep coming forward though. This is a brave effort. They won on Thursday night 6-2 over Dundee. They won 3-0 last night over Belfast. You'd think that they might have tired legs, but they looked energized despite the scoreline as well.
Well, they're still in the game. They're only down a couple of goals. They know if they get the next one, then they, put some more pressure back on Cardiff. But the thing is, the Devils are fresh and they're flying out there.
A pass for Valdix. His stick was checked perfectly by Critchlow. Here's O'Connor. Buzzer will sound, and after 40 minutes of excellent action at Ice Arena Wales, it'll be a 2-0 lead. After 2 periods, a shorthanded goal A scintillating play from Cox and Waller. And full value for the 2-0 lead. As Batch started it off with 7:47 remaining in the second from Crandall and Cox. Waller shorthanded from Cox. Cox with a couple of assists. And certainly some work to be done for the Storm. But the Storm have really played well in this game.
Oh, they have. I mean, they've tried everything to really just dampen that offense of Cardiff, who have been flying out there for 2 periods now. They're really on a high pace, the Devils. But Manchester's still in this one. I mean, they have sat back a lot in this game. Should have some legs left, although they have had the busier schedule. So you wonder how much energy they will have in the third period. But, you know, Ryan Finnerty will come up with some tactics where they can try to take advantage of the Cardiff Devils. I think, if anything, they're going to have to try to get more players involved in the offense.
Well, the man that opened the scoring, Josh Batch, he's live ringside with our own Chris Ellis.
Josh, what about that period? Really good for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, obviously good to get the 2 goals. It was a tough first period. They were defending really well, really compacting it in the D zone. So I think we did well just to persevere, keep going, and got lucky with a couple of goals there.
But Manchester are a resilient side. They make you work hard, don't they?
Yeah, they're a really hard-working team. Obviously, I played with Finner last year in the Elite Series, so I know how he wants the boys to play. They're always going to be hard-working, so yeah, they make it difficult for you for sure.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Big shot from Josh Batch and a short-handed goal from Waller. It's 2-0 Cardiff. We'll be back with second intermission analysis after this quick break. Welcome back to a sold-out Ice Arena Wales, the Premier Sports Elite League, and the home crowd enjoying this one 2-0 after 40 minutes of play. And the Cardiff Devils certainly built pressure after a scoreless first period. They were outshot 11-10 by the Storm. They really started to build some pressure to start the second period.
Well, they certainly did. I mean, they've had 40 minutes of pressure, really. I mean, that's a good scoring opportunity from Dixon there. Released it quick from the pass from Waller. And again, they moved the puck up quick, one passing up, creating some good opportunities. Again, defenseman jumping up into the play. Cox coming as the third wave, getting a shot to the net. You can see Davis trying everything to get a piece of that to finish the play off. But Ginn was very good again in that second period.
We said it'd be a goaltending duel between Carruth and Ginn. Shots on goal right now, Cardiff 21, Manchester 20. So both goalies have fulfilled what we kind of surmised off the top of the show. But unfortunately for Ginn and the Storm, it wasn't going to last forever. And certainly one of the guys who maybe we didn't highlight off the top for his offensive prowess, we talked about Josh Batch because of his physical play, but this is a guy that plays forward and defense. His skating and his shot have improved over the last few years, and a great example of Batch's shot here on the opening goal.
Yeah, again, it's just coming up the boards with the puck there. Crandall gets it back to Batch. He looks up and then fires it when he sees some traffic in front. I think Ginn was actually screened by his own player in the middle of the ice there. But Batch just waits, picks his spot. That was a big blast from Batch. It's in the back, and then a big goal, and it certainly took the pressure off the Devils a little bit, and gave them that lead that they needed they were looking for in the second period.
Crandall and Cox with the assists on the opener with 7:47 left in the period. The Storm didn't go away, though. It was the shot blocking and some of the physical aspects. And I said before we went to break, they have played really well. They played a road game. They're under no obligation to entertain the home crowd here. They've tried to conserve their energy. They played Thursday. They played last night. This is Cardiff's first game. So Ryan Finnerty has done a real good job on the game plan for this one. Unfortunately, you never want to give up a shorthanded goal, and that's exactly what happened to them with 2:12 remaining in the period. It was their second power play of the game. It looked good here. They had a couple of chances on the power play, but it was just a perfect play by Cox and Waller.
Yeah, I mean, Cox does a good job. Fakes the shot, freezes everybody and the goalie, and Waller just finishes that. But I think it's Cardiff's first shorthanded goal of the Elite League season. I mean, Manchester had 3 shorthanded goals already this year. Cardiff finally get one on the shorthanded, and those shorthanded goals are really important. They're a big key in any game. A lot of times when you get a shorthanded goal, you win the game.
Cox with 2 assists, Waller's second goal in league play, and he's got to be one of the most improved players. He's getting a real opportunity here in Cardiff, and he's taking the most of it, Josh Waller.
No, he's playing great. I mean, his speed out there in the ice is fantastic to watch. He's very entertaining, I find. Love to see the speed and the skill from a young player like that, and he's getting this opportunity. You play well, the coach is going to play you, Murph.
2-0 in favor of Cardiff, and our own Chris Ellis, well, he went behind the boards with a former player who's now the equipment manager of the Cardiff Devils, Tom Murdy.
Great to get inside the Cardiff dressing room, and I'm joined by a very important person, equipment manager Thomas Murdy. Thomas, thanks for taking your time to talk to us. I think I want to start with how hard it was for you to go from playing or stop playing to change your roles. How big a decision was it for you to quit playing?
Well, I was doing the job for like a year and a half, doing both playing and doing the equipment. And then, I don't know, Todd said, do you want to do the equipment? And then maybe I just thought I'd had enough of just playing. Like, I was the backup, I didn't really play that much. And then it was like a good role to transition into.
What about the role? Just talk us through, I mean, in a nutshell, it must be very hard, but in a nutshell, on a game day, what's your daily routine?
On a game day, the guys normally come in for a morning meeting, sometimes morning skate. So then I have to be here for them, set everything up. And then when they leave, do all the washing, sharpen all the skates, set up again. And then obviously for the game, just be ready in case there's any problems. And then again, after the game, set up, clean all the washing and sharpen some more skates.
Obviously, equipment managers across the league, across the world are very... It's a demanding job. But as a former player, do you think you have that real insight into what a player wants?
I mean, being a former player obviously helps because you kind of know, like, I've had some bad equipment managers in my time who don't do everything they're supposed to do. So obviously playing, I know what all the guys want and feel like I can do a better job.
And what about the situation with the dressing room? A lot of players who retire, they miss the game so much and they say, I really have struggled to adapt to outside the world of hockey. How much for you is it great because you're still in that inner sanctum, as it were?
I think that's the best thing about it. Obviously playing and being around the change room, it's good crack. And you're pretty much just a player, you just don't play. You're around the boys all the time, it's good fun.
And is it kind of a more demanding role than perhaps you thought? When you were a player, how much does it kind of change your mind about what the role entailed once you'd taken it up?
I mean, I always knew it was like a tough job, like equipment manager, it's just long hours. So I was kind of expecting it like that way.
And is it a rewarding job? Do you get the satisfaction about the team doing well just as much as you did when you were a player?
Oh, 100%. Like sometimes if you go in the van, set up the room early, it's just a nice feeling. The guys come in, they don't have to carry their kit bags around, everything like that.
OK, well, we'll let you get on with your work. Thanks very much for joining us. That's the equipment manager there for the Cardiff Devils, Thomas Murdy.
Tom Murdy behind the boards. You've had some great equipment managers. You had Jason Taff-Ellery in Belfast. Talk about how important the equipment manager is to a successful Premier Sports Elite League team.
Well, I mean, you're depending on them to do so much, and it is long hours, and they don't always get a lot of help. They're doing everything on their own. They have the occasional helper, but these guys work hard, and it helps, the instincts of a former player. But, Taff was great in Belfast. Adam Goodridge in Nottingham when it was there was great also. So, there's some quality trainers around the league, and some of the best. And a lot of these guys could work at the top level, I think. They just never had the opportunity, or probably will never get the opportunity, but they're very good at their jobs.
The heartbeat of any Premier Sports Elite League dressing room is the equipment manager. So great to hear from Tom Murdy there. Out of town scoreboard, there is one other game in league play this afternoon, and it's the Sheffield Steelers with a big 5-2 victory over the Fife Flyers. Sheffield first in Premier Sports Elite League standings. Earlier this week, Wednesday, October 20th, the Panthers with a 4-3 victory over Guildford. Manchester, their first of 3 games this week, a 6-2 victory over Dundee on Thursday. They followed it up with a 3-0 victory last night over the Belfast Giants, 32 save shutout for Matt Ginn. They trailed 2-0 here on goals from Batch and Waller with 20 minutes to play from Ice Arena Wales. Well, what can Ryan Finnerty change up a little bit to try and generate some offense? They do have 20 shots on goal so far.
Yeah, it's surprising they have that many shots because Cardiff have had more possession of the puck. So maybe I'm missing some of the shots that they're getting because I'm seeing Cardiff more on the puck. So they are getting some shots in there, and they had some better moments in the second period, but they're still going to have to do more. They need to create some quality shots, and you see the big blast there from Batch for the goal. I mean, that's a nice finish from him, a big first goal for the Devils in that second period.
2-0 for the Devils over the Storm. Batch and Waller, third period coming up on Premier Sports. Welcome back to Ice Arena Wales. We'll hustle downstairs. Chris Ellis is ringside.
Yeah, we talk about equipment managers, and we heard from Tom Murdy, but talking about Scott, or Scoot as he's well known here on the Manchester bench, I was fascinated to watch this skate change. you may not have known it, but in that period, in the second period, there was 2 skate changes, and they must have taken about 30 seconds each. Both blades, when I say skate change, I mean the blades. So 2 players both had both blades changed, and the whole process was just 30 seconds. So it just shows the value of equipment managers, like you were talking, guys, Murph and Paul Ady. You know, the equipment managers, it's just so important the role they play.
Magnificent, yeah. Scott Wainwright, Tom Murdy, working hard this afternoon at Ice Arena Wales. Third period action underway. Register, D-to-D with Richardson. Face-offs through 40 minutes, 58% in favor of Cardiff. Cardiff 0 for 1 on the power play. Here's Waller. Shot ramps up high off the glass. Manchester 0 for 2 on the power play. Waller and Batch the goals if you're just tuning in. Shots on goal 21-20 in favor of the Devils. Here's Wilson. 2 wins in a row for the Storm. Cardiff trying to remain undefeated on home ice in league play. They are 2-0 in league action at Ice Arena Wales. Here's Register. Stretch pass for Dixon. Dixon shields the puck well against Earhart. Coming in to help out was Fawcett. Fawcett won the puck back from Dixon, but it's unrelenting pressure from the Devils. Broken up now by Critchlow. Critchlow will dump it in. Ben Davis takes it off his left skate. First man on the scene gets it to Mickelson. Brendan Mickelson has 3 shots on goal to lead all Devils. To the Cox. O'Connor. Headman pass for the speedy Cox. Cox has 2 assists in the game. That gives him 4 helpers in league play. Earhart gets it to the line, not out. Here's Mickelson. Mickelson with his shot. A touch from Cox, but it went wide. Here is Cox. If you're just tuning in, no Cole Sanford in this one, no Brandon McNally. Sanford would usually be on this line. Ben Davis getting a chance on this trio. Here's Cox to the aforementioned Davis. Davis curls back into the slot to Batch, who had the opening goal in the second period for Cardiff. Waller has the shorty. Simmons can't get the puck out. Here's Batch. Batch just throws it in, looking for a redirect from Cox, but it's ramped up and away. Here's Davis on the follow-up, and Ginn went post to post perfectly. Earhart can't get the puck out. Tired legs out there now for the Storm. There's Zach Sullivan, who played with the Devils for a few games in the Champions Hockey League on an emergency basis. It was a classy move by Ryan Finnerty and company to loan Sullivan to the Devils for that Champions Hockey League journey. Here's Lewis to Duggan. Nice little play, work back to Valdix. Valdix with the shot, turned aside by Ginn under the watchful eye of Lamon. Here's Batch to Lewis. Lewis with the shot, and Ginn will look that into the glove hand.
Again, Ginn, nobody in front. He's able to see that quite easily, but I like the movement of the Devils up top from their defensemen. They come across the blue line with speed. They make good hard passes wide, so they stretch you. They force you to come out to the outside, and they get some shots to the net. But again, good job from Manchester, boxing guys out, allowing Ginn to see those shots coming in from the blue line.
McLeod versus Dixon. Dixon will win that. Here's Ginn to Van Wormer. Back for Brady, behind Brady. Richardson to Register. The captain, Richardson, slides it along for Reed. Hamilton breaks up that play. Good defensive work by Register. Give the Storm credit. They have kept Brody Reed at bay in this one, which not a lot of teams have been able to do thus far in the Premier Sports Elite League. Here is Reed, 8 goals in league competition, 9 points. Register dumps the puck in. Dixon will get there ahead of Hazeldine, but it bounced away from Dixon. Reed back to the point. Batch shovels it into the corner. Dixon, as he always is, battling for every inch of ice against Wilson. Wilson goes down, but Van Wormer will get the puck out. No, he won't. Batch will keep it in. Batch is having a whale of a game for the Devils. Here's Hazeldine ahead for Van Wormer. Waller strips Hamilton. Here's Lewis. Lewis, who had a fight with Springer in period 1. It's been a testy affair, physical on both sides. And there's an example as Springer steps up on Lamon. Lamon doesn't care, gets right back up and wins the puck back to Duggan. Duggan tries the little cut in. He's headed off of the pass by Earhart. Valdix backs him up. Duggan with a good hit. It will be Simmons winning the puck back, but he gave it right back to Lewis. Lewis then in turn gives it right back to Earhart. A little bit scrambly between the blue lines there, between the Devils and the Storm. Springer sends it right back in through the legs of Batch. Batch will have to turn back into his own defensive corner. Lamon nearly gave it away to Critchlow. Valdix comes back to help out Lamon. Critchlow nearly the gift there of an intercepted puck. Here's McNulty. And an icing call. Cardiff were struggling there for a few, especially between the blue lines. A couple of sequences there where Cardiff couldn't string any passes together.
Yeah, trying to force a few plays when sometimes just knocking it off the boards is the best option. Good job from Baldic. Saw his teammate was in trouble, came right down and made a play back behind the net across to the defenseman. So good read from him defensively.
And Davis was going to go to the bench. Instead, it's Valdix. Face-off will be to the right of Carruth's net. Hamilton and company win the draw. It was a good job by Adam Brady. Brady, 4 goals and 2 assists to lead the Storm in league play. Really causing a problem there for Batch, but Batch, strong on a stick, gets the puck away. Here's Duggan to Davis. Davis trying to find Cox on the back post. Cox, well, he had to cut back against McNulty and nearly had a good chance. Brady with the intercept. Gains the blue line. Brady to Hamilton. That's up and over. Off the glass, in behind Carruth. Wilson dumps it in. Mickelson works it on. Intercepted by Hamilton. Now Wilson pinching in from the right point. He's got Van Wormer in the high slot. Van Wormer trying to get attention there, tapping his stick wildly. He wanted that feed. Van Wormer goes back to the front of the net. Brady did try and service him on that pass, but Mickelson and company collapsed in front of Carruth. Here's Davis. Then Davis, right-handed shot on the left side, cuts back Davis. Strong on a stick against Critchlow. Couldn't get the shot away, though, as Critchlow stays with him. Simmons will get the puck out for the Storm, and just like that, we've got a quick 6 minutes already gone in the third period. Critchlow gets a blade on that. Into the corner comes Simmons. The Register will take over. The Register swings out wide, cuts back through the neutral zone, tape to tape with Cox. Cox drops it for Crandall. Crandall, time and space, hard angle. Well, you could see what he was trying to do there as Dixon was going to the back post, but Matt Ginn was wise to it.
Yeah, not a bad idea, but I mean, in this period, you can see the Manchester Storm are getting to pucks quicker in the offensive zone. They're making things happen a little bit more, putting Cardiff under more pressure right there. Bad angle shot. Ginn was ready for that. But you can see that the Storm are trying to get things going, and their defensemen, like you mentioned, are pinching down a bit more, and they're trying to get things going offensively.
And McLeod and Brady are starting to win some face-offs now. Good face-off win there in the D zone by McLeod. And Ulrich just offside there. Your buddy Mark Brooks, who works for Ulster Rugby now, he's talking about the Belfast Giants connection. Curtis Hamilton won the 2019-2020 CHL goal of the tournament for the Giants versus Liberec. And Liam Morgan was the Giants' top scorer in that CHL campaign with 1 goal and 6 assists. So a nice stat there from your old buddy with your time together at the Belfast Giants, Mark Brooks. Yeah, now both those players playing well for Ryan Finnerty and the Storm. Here's Reed trying to find Dixon. Springer lost an edge. Dixon carries on. Nobody there, though, and the aforementioned Liam Morgan will get it to Springer. Springer gave it away, but Morgan stays with it and tucks it into the corner.
Yeah, again, you know, good quick change here from Manchester, trying to go short and harder, trying to keep the energy levels a little bit higher.
Dixon with a shot, and Zach Sullivan will get a stick in on that, and it will be up into the mesh.
Yeah, Dixon wasn't too happy there. He's having words with the referee. Thought he was being held back a couple of times and a bit frustrated. We know he's always on the puck, always making things happen, but especially below that red line, the goal line, he's always involved behind the net or in front of the net. But for a moment there, wasn't overly happy with the referee.
And Warmer and Valdix wins the draw. Batch down low, chance for Lamon, and Ginn will hold on.
Yeah, smart play from Lamon. Puck came off the boards and he just one-touched that up, tried to get up over Ginn with a quick little shot and almost managed it, but Ginn again, nice little save here in close and tight, shoulder right up against the bar, taking everything away.
Valdix wins another face-off to Duggan. Duggan just held the line. Valdix. Should mention Brody DuPont left the game earlier. Hasn't been back, so Valdix taking some important face-offs. Van Wormer trying to get in behind Batch. Batch backtracks there. Lewis. Here's Lamont. Hamilton coming at him. Lewis, though, keeps his nerve and slides it along to Batch. Batch and Waller, the goal scorers. Both goals for Cardiff in the second period. Here's Crandall. Crandall threw it out front. Sliding along to break up that play was Sullivan. Fawcett came back to help out as well. And again, it's Cardiff pressurizing in the offensive zone. Crandall to Davis. Davis sends it along Mickelson. Well, it just bounced on him in the last second, and he'll have to backtrack to O'Connor. Here's Davis. Davis with the little cutback. Davis is going to draw a penalty as Critchlow touches up. It'll be a second power play for the Cardiff Devils. We'll step aside for a quick break. Join us in just a moment's time. Cardiff will go to the power play, their second power play of the game. Ben Wilson in the box for the Manchester Storm. Cardiff, 31.3%, ranking them second in league play on the power play. The Storm, 77.8% on the penalty kill coming into action this evening. Springer, and the puck bounce away from him. Cox goes back to the point. Dixon goes to the front of the net. Here's Register to Reed. Reed, the right-handed shot on the left side, rips it on target, but a big pad save by Ginn.
It was. It almost looked like it was going to go between the legs of Ginn, but he just closed him in the nick of time, Murph.
Here's Dixon. Dixon down the left wing. Drops it back to Register. Register swings it out wide. Redirected front by Cox. Reed scores! Power play goal, Brody Reed. That's his 9th league goal in the season. It's 3-0 Devils.
Well, Cox gets the first opportunity. Ginn makes the first save, and then Reed picks up the rebound. And when he picks up the rebound, he roofs it, giving Ginn no chance. Again, good puck movement from the Devils. Shot comes in. Cox gets the first opportunity, and Reed just picks it up and puts it up and under the bar. Just getting pucks to the net, guys driving to the net, traffic in front. And you give Reed that opportunity, he's going to put it in that empty space up over the goalie and finishes it off well, and the Devils take a 3-0 lead here in the third period, Murph.
11:17 left in the third period. Well, they've scored in every which way. They've got a shorthanded goal from Waller, a 5-on-5 goal from Batch, and now a power play tally from Brody Reed. 9 league goals for Reed now. And goal scorers, he had been kept at bay throughout the game thus far, but goal scorers only need one look as he rips that up and over Ginn. Valdix with the shot, and Ginn will hold on.
Well, he has been around the net. He has had some, opportunities. That was probably his best chance with the goalie down and some net to shoot at, and he finishes it off. But, good composure there. You can see the Devils have done well along the boards, holding on to pucks, not just throwing them away, only getting pucks to the net or making passes back to the blue line when they see an opportunity.
Face-off win to Duggan. Duggan with a shot right off the logo on the chest of Ginn, and he'll hold on.
Yeah, nice shot there from Duggan, and a good face-off win from the Devils, who are very strong on face-offs. I think before the game they're around 54% win percentage on the face-offs, and Manchester were 46, so that's a pretty big gap. And it's an area where Manchester are going to want to work on, and Cardiff are going to be happy about.
Especially now with DuPont now able to take some of these important draws. It's vital that Valdix can jump in there and do a job, but he loses that one to Van Wormer. Zach Sullivan protects the puck against Lamont, gains the red line and slots it into the corner. Van Wormer will chase it down. Carruth comes out to play it to Lewis. Hamilton trying to win a puck along the wall. Brady comes in to help out. Brady gets the shot through, but it's blocked by Batch. Batch to Valdix, the product of Sweden. Andreas Valdix sends it out wide to Lamont. Rimmed around. That's going to be an icing call, as there was no way Van Wormer was going to get to that.
No chance on that one. And sometimes when you're down in a game, it's never a bad play just to rim it straight out of your zone. But then you have that forwards, you're chasing that puck, and someone supporting on the wall, and two guys. This is when you got to open the game up to try to. It might give up a goal or two, but it's worth just opening the game right up.
Davis wins another face-off. Mickelson to O'Connor. Back to Brendan Mickelson, too tight together there on the blue line. Delayed offside. They tag up. Davis will come back in on Sullivan. Sullivan goes right up the gut to Simmons. Simmons attacks the line with speed. His shot off the skate of Mickelson. And Mickelson D to O'Connor. At the left side, Cox. Cox with a 3-assist game going here for the Devils. Here's Fawcett. Earhart on the backhand, slots it into the corner. Here's Mickelson picking it up ahead of Fawcett. Crandall just tips the puck out into the neutral zone. We're past the halfway mark now. 9:30 remaining in the third period. Cardiff 3, Manchester no score. Earhart against Davis. And Earhart and Davis, Team GB teammates internationally, but no love lost now for club. As Earhart and Davis continue the battle in the corner. Fawcett and Cox pick up the battle now, and Fawcett outworks Cox. Tried to flip it along. Great stick defensively by Reed.
Yeah, great play, showing that he also is good on the defensive side of the puck. Give away to Reed. Reed with a chance. Oh, what a stop by Ginn!
As Fawcett put that on a tee for Reed, and Ginn makes yet another unbelievable save between the sticks for the Storm.
Yeah, that was an incredible save, and you just don't want to give Reed that kind of opportunity. I mean, he almost had a second chance on that one, but what a great save from a poor giveaway, but a great save from Ginn.
Remember that save from Ginn, because they're not down and out here at 3-0 down, but if that's slotted home by Reed, it would have been lights out.
Yeah, I mean, Fawcett just tries to make that pass across from below his goal line, and that's always a risky play. Those passes through the defensive zone, through the middle, it's always a risk. But I guess when you're down 3-0, you know, you're trying to create some offense, you're trying to get something going, trying to get the puck up quick to create some odd man rushes, and that's what happens.
Dixon wins the face-off to register. Matt Ginn playing out of his skin, coming into this game, a .935 save percentage in league action. 2.39 goals against average, 2 shutouts in his last 3 games played, including that 3-0 victory over Belfast last night. Here's Critchlow. Too far for McLeod. Dixon always does the right thing for the Devils. Gets the puck out. Hazeldine collects it. Back for Wilson. 12 minutes gone in the third period. If you're just tuning in, Batch, Waller, and Reed, the goal scorers for the home side. Trying to stay perfect on home ice. They're 2-0 at Ice Arena Wales in league action. Here's Valdix against Brady. Valdix, he's double teamed there, but keeps the puck. Lamon had the puck go between his legs. That allows Hazeldine to relieve the pressure. Hazeldine up the right side. Brady for Hamilton. Intercepted by Batch, and Batch, a nice touch there, not enough for icing, just slots it down. Sullivan tries to stretch it ahead for Hamilton, and that'll be an icing call as Lewis gets there ahead of Hamilton with 7:19 remaining.
Yeah, not a lot of time left on the clock. Like you said, enough to maybe get back into this game, and if they can get one, then, you know, we talk about getting the goalie out 3-4 minutes, whatever left in the third period. But Manchester need at least one goal before they can start thinking about pulling the goalie.
You'd like to be down by, it's tough to pull the goalie with 3. You'd like to be down by a couple, so they need something in the next few shifts. Here's Mickelson. Puck redirected into the corner. Van Wormer. Pass McNulty. Another icing call against the Storm.
Well, they're probably forcing it a little bit right now to get the puck out of the zone quickly to try to create some offense. But the Devils have, you know, tactically have been sound in this game. They've been, you know, working together as a 5-man unit on the ice for now for the whole game. And credit to Coach Jared Scaldi. He's really had his team played well as a unit.
Brady wins the face-off. Cox, though, intercepts McNulty's clearing attempt. Davis comes in to help out, as does Crandall. Good quick hands by Brady, though. Van Wormer into the middle of the ice. Nice little cutback. Good shot on target there by Lutwich. Left pad save from Carruth. Van Wormer's stick got up on Lamon. Van Wormer with the shot. Or rather, O'Connor got a stick up high there, but Carruth will make the save.
Yeah, some good hustle here from Manchester. Shot comes in, forces the save from Carruth. And again, looking, hunting for those rebounds, trying to get an opportunity there. Ludwig just doesn't get a second chance.
Simmons versus Dixon. To the left of Carruth, Dixon. Well, he's almost automatic in the dot right now. Stephen Dixon wins it to Register. Register couldn't get the puck out, though. Fawcett and company looking for some offense down that side, and again it was Ludwig. Turn back again. Here comes Waller. Waller slots it across for Dixon. Oh my goodness! Matt Ginn shuts the door, and Dixon looked like he was going to make it 4-0 there on the lovely feed from Waller. Here's Ludwig back the other way. Waller tracks him down. Richardson, well, we're getting a taste of why Matt Ginn is considered the top player, the top star for the Manchester Storm. Here's Reed to Dixon, who cannot believe the save that Ginn made a moment ago. Here's Wilson. Too far for Simmons. No icing. Lewis. 5.5 remaining in the third period. Cardiff 3, Manchester no score. Batch will backtrack. Batch trying to poke it away there from Gulliver. Duggan will sprint away for the home side. Duggan in behind Valdix. Valdix will win the puck back, but Hazeldine will relieve the pressure now for the visitors. Shots on goal, 32-23 in favor of the Devils. Here's Critchlow. Pass in behind Ulrich. Brendan Mickelson. Duggan. O'Connor. O'Connor with a dangerous pass across the goal mouth. Mickelson collects it. Here's Lamon. Valdix. Duggan held up by McNulty, but Mickelson, he knows when to pinch, doesn't he, Brendan Mickelson? Keeps the puck in deep, killing vital seconds off the clock for the Cardiff Devils. O'Connor swatting at it. Brady and Van Wormer converging on him. Cox gets it quickly ahead to Davis. Davis walking in, poke checked by Ginn. In front, redirected. Crandall looked like he had the top corner, but again, getting a piece of it was Ginn. What a poke check by Ginn on Ben Davis. Here's Hamilton to Van Wormer. Picked off by Cox. Cox will curl back in front of his own goal. Crandall. 16 minutes gone in the third stanza. Devils 3, Storm no score, and Matt Ginn keeping it close. It could easily be 5-0 right now, Paul Lady.
Yeah, it could be. And he's been really good with his stick. He's made a couple of great plays. Has a really quick wrist action with his stick, poke check at the puck, and saved a couple of goals.
Dixon to Waller. Waller with a shot. Well, Waller's already got a shorthanded goal, looking for a 5-on-5 goal, but Ginn comes across the top of the blue paint right to left to make the stop.
Yeah, another great save there, and he certainly has kept his team in it as well as anybody could in this game. And Waller comes, he sees it's going to be a tough pass across the Dixon because the defenseman slides down, taking the pass away, so Waller shoots it. That's the right play, but again, another good save from Ginn.
Good face-off win by Simmons. Here's Springer. Fawcett. Trying to go away from Register. Simmons backs up Fawcett. Dixon rims it around, up and down. Looking for the speedy Waller. But Earhart, no icing on the play. Earhart will win the race, though, and Springer will send it up and out of harm's way. Here's Register with 3:15 remaining. A loud Ice Arena Wells. A sellout this afternoon on Premier Sports. Here's Waller. Waller for Reed. But it will be back the other way through Finley Ulrich. Ulrich trying to go out wide on Batch. Rolls it in on Carruth, looking for McLeod in front. And now Lewis will put a headlock on McLeod.
Yeah, McLeod went hard to the net, and I think you're right. I think Lewis gave him a bit of a shot there just to let him know you don't go in jabbing away at the goal. Hey, look at McLeod. He hasn't played in 3 years, Murph. It's very rare that a player does that. And
Hey. He cross-checked the keeper in the back. He cross-checking in the back while he was on the ground. I want him off the ice. I can give him a
Steph
5.
Hogarth is mic'd up. We'll have a listen in.
Huh? No? Huh? Really? What did he see what he does?
I don't know. I don't have a major
Cross-check. Cross-check the goalie in the back when he's on the floor. Serious.
Well, you have a better sight line than me, so I don't have a major penalty there. So it's entirely up to you.
No, I'm going to can him. We'll get him off the ice. Put him in. Is he in? Where is he? 5-minute major cross-checking. No, for them. Yeah. Where's the guy?
Well, you made a good point about McLeod. What a battler this man is, his medical history.
Number.
He met Lewis in front, though.
No, I don't think that's a major penalty. But he did have a little stick in there, but man, 2 minutes for cross-checking. I don't see a major. He does give him a little shot, though. I'll say that. That's why Lewis manhandles him a little bit, and I think he's getting thrown out. But I don't know. I guess I don't see that as a major penalty. I do see an easy 2-minute penalty. I don't think it was that. I mean, Ryan Finnerty's saying, "Come on, guys, that's just a little cross-check." Lewis obviously wasn't pleased about it, so he just sent McLeod a little message.
Now.
Let's listen to Steph Hogarth.
A 5 for a cross-check.
Cross-check. You didn't see what just happened, man? You went to the net still and fell like this.
Apologies for any language there, but the tempers that will flare. I think what Ryan Finnerty's saying, he's going to the front of the net. He's trying not to fall over. His stick is on the back of Carruth. I think you're right. It's a minor penalty. It's certainly not a major penalty. Right now, 5 on the board for McLeod. He will play no further part, and it's an extended power play for the Devils.
Yeah, unless the referee was closer, saw him actually give him a quick little cross-check to the back of the neck, then you can see a major, but I didn't see that. The referee's closer than us, so do we have to give him the benefit of the doubt?
Yes, we're not in the same vantage point as neither Hogarth or the other official, Matt Rose. They had a good lengthy discussion about it, and through all of that, it is McLeod playing no further part. A third power play for Cardiff. They are 1 for 2. Here's Cox. Cox, his shot wide to the left of Ginn. Register gets there ahead of Simmons. We'll play it back to Carruth. Carruth works it on for Waller. Register gains the line. Reed calling for it. Reed with the shot, but he took that off the toe of his blade, and it just goes end over end into the glove of Ginn.
Well, Reed does a good job getting open. He's always moving to that open area, especially as in the right shot. He goes to the left side for that one-time shot, gives himself a better angle, and he just releases it quickly. He never hangs on to it very long. That time, the puck was rolling a bit, couldn't get a great shot to the net. But just watch Reed, how he just drifts, as you say, ghosts to that open space, open ice on the ice for free shots. He does it a lot. Finds that open space.
He's a righty on the left side, and he loves to tee it up on the off wing, and it's a blast when he gets a hold of it. Didn't quite get a hold of it there, but still a tricky save had to be made from Ginn. And they're going to do it again. As the linesman Lee Young didn't like the false start. Davis wins the face-off. Here is O'Connor. Ben O'Connor winds up, fakes to Waller. Waller curls away from Earhart to the top of the circle now. O'Connor. Shot right on by Mickelson, turned aside by Ginn. What a performance from Matt Ginn. He'll battle to that final buzzer in that Storm crease. Mickelson to O'Connor. 1:45 remaining in the game. Earhart trying to race forward short-handed now. He's got Fawcett. Fawcett trying to win a race. Fawcett gets a stick on the play ahead of Lamond, but the pad came across from Carruth as Fawcett tried to find the short-handed goal. Here's Waller, 1:30 remaining. Waller to Lamond. Lamond with his shot turned aside by Ginn. Mickelson and Lamond work it along for Davis. Earhart gets the puck ahead to Fawcett. Fawcett will clear it up and down the left side with 1:15 remaining. Carruth will come out. Plays it along to O'Connor. O'Connor quickly ahead to Reed, on to Cox. Breakneck pace on this power play for the Devils as they try and ice this. Trying to improve to 3-0 on home ice in league play. Dixon calling for it in front. It comes back to Register. Register with a shot turned aside by Ginn and Reed. And Dixon looking skyward as Dixon's chance goes by the wayside. Interesting reaction from Reed, who thought Dixon had finally got one. A couple of good chances in the game from Dixon. Intercepted by Register. Register to Crandall. Crandall back to Reed. They work it along. Cox fakes the shot. Here's Register. 30 seconds remaining in the game. Dixon again goes to the front of the net. They try and slot it back to Reed, and it's a great stick there by Brady, sending it out past Crandall. Down to 20 seconds remaining. Devils with a 3-0 lead over the Storm. Reed trying to kill off the clock. Register sends it cross ice. Cox to Dixon. Dixon with a chance. Well, Dixon will be happy to see the end of Ginn leaving the ice here, because it could easily be a hat trick for Dixon.
Yeah, I mean, Dixon's been trying everything tonight to get one here, and he gets a good opportunity, but Ginn again, nice save. I think he had to go a little bit higher with that one. But a good power play again from the Devils, good puck movement, creating some good opportunities, and unfortunately they didn't get a goal that they wanted, but certainly has been another great period here, Murph.
Face-off win. That'll do it. 5 seconds remaining. The last touch will go to Springer. Springer off the glass. Done and dusted. The 3-0 victory for the Cardiff Devils. Batch, Reed, and Waller, the goal scorers. Good performance from Matt Carruth, his first league shutout. And they improved to 3-0 on home ice. Comprehensive victory. Good effort from a Manchester Storm side that are playing their third game since Thursday. The Devils were rested, and certainly after a really good opening period, it was scoreless after 20, 2-0 after 40, and the lone goal in this third period, the power play tally from Reed to salt away the victory.
Yeah, that finished the game off, really. A nice goal from Reed there into the top of the net. But you're right, Manchester played a good road game. They were just trying to play a good defensive first period, and eventually just trying to sneak that first goal, and then sometimes you can go on to win those games. But the Devils stuck with it. I mean, they played hard for 60 minutes. They were missing a couple of key forwards also in this game, but the guys in the lineup gave it everything they had, and they were they did dominate, not the whole game, but majority of the game. I thought the Devils were the dominant team because they had way more puck possession. Manchester played a good solid road game, but in the end, the pressure of the Devils paid off, and they won the game 3-0.
38 saves for Matt Ginn. You look at that scoreboard, 3-0. I mean, Dixon could have had a hat trick himself. Waller could have had a couple of goals. He did have the shorthanded marker, but again, we saw two of the better goalies, two of the best goalies in the league in Carruth and Ginn.
Yeah, I mean, they battled hard, both of them, and Carruth maybe didn't see as much action, but when he was called upon, he made some good saves also, had a good performance. I mean, it was another good game. I mean, we've been spoiled so far, Murph, with all the great quality hockey we've been seeing.
25 saves for Carruth for the shutout performance. Batch and Waller in the second period for Cardiff. Brody Reed's, it's astounding. He's got 9 goals in league play. He's got another 2 in the Challenge Cup, Brody Reed. 11 goals overall. The man of the match for the Manchester Storm, no surprise, Matt Ginn, like we said, 38 saves, and just calm under pressure time and time again. What a magnificent goalkeeper.
At 5'11" in today's game, that's not big for a goalie, but he certainly reads the game well. I mean, a few times you can see the Devils where they were trying to, let's say, get the puck out to Reed, and Ginn knew where they were going. He came across and just, took the angle away and made it tough on Reed on a couple of those good scoring opportunities. So he's a goalie that reads the game really well, and that's why he's able to stop pucks.
Let's head down. Chris Ellis has a special guest ringside.
Brody Reed, that was a good win for you this evening.
Yeah, it was a good win for us for sure. Coming off last weekend's game in Nottingham, we wanted to have the bounce back, so nice to get a good win here at home.
What about your personal form? I think that's 9 goals this season. How are you enjoying life here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good so far. I mean, Cardiff's been great. It's a beautiful city. The team's been good, so having fun right now.
Wonderful. I can hardly hear you. It's a great noise here. And that's my final question. You've had some great support, haven't you, this evening?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our fans here have been amazing this season, and we thrive off their energy and their noise. So keep coming out and keep supporting us. It means a lot to us.
Well done. I'll let you join your teammates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to Brody Reed, his 9th league goal salted away a 3-0 victory for the Cardiff Devils over the Manchester Storm. Don't go anywhere, folks. Post-game analysis after this quick break. Welcome back to Ice Arena Wales. A 3-0 victory for the Cardiff Devils over the Manchester Storm. It's a little bit quieter in here, although the fans are still enjoying it. But what a decibel level, what an incredible sellout here for that victory for Cardiff.
Yeah, what a great crowd, great atmosphere. It was a great game. I like the intensity for 60 minutes. The pace of the game was really good. Teams were moving the puck quickly, and it was going end to end, which is exciting for the fans to see a game like that. Good action.
41-25, the shots on goal in favor of Cardiff. Another big performance for Matt Ginn with 38 saves.
Yeah, I mean, he's exceptional. I mean, some of the saves he made out there, they weren't easy saves. And, he was moved a lot. Cardiff tried to move him from post to post, but he still came across, and he reads the game so well. So he knows what's happening. That's why he's able to come across and make those saves. So Cardiff, did the right things, trying to make it tough on Ginn, but Ginn reacted well.
Carruth good as well, 25 saves for the shutout. Sometimes when you're not as busy, it's even harder to be dialed in, and he was certainly using the crowd's energy to help him get that shutout across the line.
Yeah, he was. He played well also, and there was traffic in front on some of those shots, and he still had to track them, and we didn't see as much action, but still didn't give up any goals on, I think it was 25 shots, so that's a real good performance from him, and that'll be great for his confidence also.
Well, when you look at the special teams, it was a power play goal and a shorthanded goal for the Cardiff Devils, and we said the special teams could be the difference, and that was certainly the difference with the shorthanded goal by Waller and the power play goal from Reed.
Yeah, I mean, the Waller shorthanded goal, I think, was the key goal of the game. That gave them that cushion 2-0, and a lot of times when you score a shorthanded goal, you end up winning the game, and so that was a big play for the Devils on that one. But, they, like you said, their power play was good, the Devils. They had a lot of good chances on their power play, finally got a goal on their power play, and they scored one 5-on-5 also. At times they did dominate 5-on-5 because Manchester played that road game sitting back and just trying to wait for the break. But Cardiff reacted well overall in the game. Also, it was a good hockey game.
Well, let's have a look at some of the action around the goal mouths, and sometimes when you get the offense from unlikely places, you start off on the good foot, and it was Batch, not known for the goal scoring usually, but that is a big shot from Josh Batch. 1-0 Cardiff.
Yeah, he showed a lot of patience on this, didn't panic, picked his spot. He waited till, I think it was Cox crossed the front of the net on the shot in front of Ginn, just as the shot came in. Plus Ginn was screened from a couple of his own players there, but Cox came across at the right time just as Batch was releasing it, ended up in the back of the net.
That goal with 7:47 remaining in the second period. I mean, the first period was unbelievable, scoreless after 20 minutes. A power play for the Manchester Storm. It was looking good for them, but it was the special teams again that cost them here. And it was a shorthanded goal as Batch chops it ahead for Cox. Cox the whole way looking for Waller.
Yeah, that was a great play from Cox. I mean, burst of speed up the ice, but just watch this little fake. Freezes everybody, freezes Ginn and the defenseman, and it's in the back of the net. So a really nice play from Cox. And Waller just keeps going wide, stick on the ice, taps it in the net. It's an easy goal for him, but still he was in the right position. Perfect timing. It's in the back of the net.
That goal with 2:12 left in the period seemed to take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the Manchester Storm. But in full credit to them, they did keep battling. Unfortunately, it was another special teams moment, and maybe the most lethal of shooters in the entire Premier Sports Elite League. Brodie Reed wasn't going to be denied all game long.
Well, I like the puck movement of the Devils throughout this game on the power play. They were patient with the puck, and right there, Cox goes to the front of that, gets a bit, I don't know if he gets a whack on it or not, definitely has his stick on the ice and causes a bit of a commotion. Puck shot goes to the net there, and the rebound comes out to Reed, and Ginn's got no chance because Reed gets it up, and that's what goal scorers do. In close, puck goes up into the top of the net.
Cox was all around the goal mouth in this one with a couple of helpers and causing havoc in front of Brodie Reed, or in front of Ginn there for Brodie Reed. I mean, Matt Ginn, the only way you're beating him is with that traffic in front or the screen on the Batch goal. So, I mean, there's nothing he could have done in that situation. Dixon had 5 shots on goal himself for the Devils. Probably should have had the hat trick because some of them were grade A chances, but Ginn just kept shutting the door.
Yeah, I mean, Ginn made a lot of good saves on Dixon. He was frustrated. But, you mentioned Cox. I thought Cox was one of the best players on the ice. He was all over the ice, made things happen, made some great plays, and he was really, really good in the game.
It was an intense affair, and I don't think Ryan Finnerty liked the call on McLeod, which became a 5-minute major for cross-checking. Let's have a look a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is Carruth has the puck, and McLeod comes in a bit late, and Lewis is letting them know, hey, you can't see Carruth wasn't very happy. And well, we can't. If we have a good look here, we'll have a much better look. Wow, this is after the fact, but he does get a cross-check in there, so it was debatable. Was it 2 minutes? Was it a major? And both officials weren't sure either, but in the end, one of the officials decided that was a major penalty. And if the official behind the red line sees it as a major penalty, then he's closest than anyone else in the building, so he's going to make that call. I don't think McLeod really went in with the intention of a big cross-check to the back of the back of the neck of Carew.
From our perspective, it almost looked like he was trying not to fall over the back of the goalie, but look, we didn't have the exact same view as the officials in this one. Steph Hogarth and Rose certainly had a good look at it. We'll have a good look at more after this quick break on Premier Sports. A 3-0 victory for the Cardiff Devils over the Manchester Storm. We'll be right back with more here at Ice Arena Wales. Welcome back to the Premier Sports Elite League post-game show. Let's head down ringside. Ryan Finnerty with Chris Ellis.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on the game?
Obviously disappointed in the end result, but you know, we ran into a very good team in a tough part of our schedule. You know, they were well rested and came out, but you know, ironically, I thought our first period here, you know, coming out of it 0-0, they had a lot of zone time, but we did real well defending, had some chances. You know, the killer was the shorthanded goal at the end of the second. Going in 1-0 into the third would have suited us, you know, and we could have emptied the tanks, and then obviously a shorty and a power play, and then that's the game.
When you're not a big budget team, do you have to take positives from how you contain them for over a period of this game?
No, I definitely don't think that, you know, like, you know, we expect to compete on every given night here. You know, we had opportunities here to get a lead, even to have a few looks, and you know, it's just, you know, as I said, it's our third game in 4 nights here. You know, I felt we didn't quite have the legs and the execution. We were struggling to make just simple plays, and that happens when fatigue sets in. But you know, I'm proud of the way the guys have come together. We've had a good week. You know, like I said, we ran into a very good team at a really tough time in our schedule. But you know, this game's full of confidence that we can play in any rink on any given day and compete and have success. And you know, we're very, very comfortable at home, and now we just got to get comfortable on the road.
Just overall, are you content with what you're seeing from your side, or do you want to see more?
Well, you always want to see more. I think, you know, we got some guys playing really, really good minutes for us. We got some guys that need to get going. You know, I think we need to be a bit faster and react a lot quicker to pucks and not be so reactive and kind of, you know, dictate the play a lot of times. But, you know, Cardiff's a great team. They're a great team, and they move the puck so well. We saw in the offensive zone there, they can spread you out. But, you know, I was real happy with our defensive play. I didn't think we gave up that many good looks early on. You know, and we kind of had to obviously go in the last 20 minutes here. We had to come out of our game plan a bit and try to get up on the forecheck and create what we could, but it just wasn't our night here tonight.
Thanks for joining us, Ryan.
Thanks.
Thanks to Ryan Finnerty for joining us ringside. Now joined by the winning head coach, Jared Scaldi. And Jared, so many positives to take out of that, especially, I mean, you're coming off a loss in Nottingham last weekend. You didn't get to play yesterday, so you really wanted to get something out of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the message going in is that we need to play hard for a longer period of time. And I thought right from the start, I thought we played a full 60 minutes. We put on a lot of pressure, sustained a lot of offensive zone time. And anytime there was any kind of attack, I thought Matt Caruth made some saves he had to. But we stuck to our game plan, having a week of just practice, a little bit of rest in there. I like the way our team responded tonight.
I thought your team showed a lot of mental toughness. When you're playing against a team that sits back a little bit, plays that defensive road game, and you don't get a goal in the first period, the pressure's on a little bit, but your guys stuck with it, and your point of 60 minutes, they did play hard for 60 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. We, you know, we've gotten to situations where we've played well enough, but we didn't get success offensively, and I felt that obviously in the first period. We had some scoring chances. We didn't get anything behind Matt Ginn, but again, we stuck to it. We wanted to play fast. We wanted to continue to put pressure on them. Let's not get frustrated. Get pucks behind them and make their defensemen defend.
You made a point there about Caruth. When there was pressure from the Storm, he made those saves, and we have a couple of his saves now to look at on the replays, because 25 saves for the shutout. Sometimes when you're not the busier goalie, it's harder to be dialed in sometimes, and he certainly was watching Ginn there intently.
No, absolutely. It can be difficult at times when you got minutes and moments in the game where you're not being tested. And you know, Mac's so mentally strong and stays focused, and you know, he made those saves when he had to.
I mean, the shorthanded goal, that was a big goal. I think it's the team's first shorthanded goal in the Elite League, so that was a big goal for you guys.
Yeah, that's such a momentum killer. Obviously, any situation like that, when you get a shorthanded goal, can really lift your team, and the adverse effect of that is also how it affects the other team. So, again, you know, we stuck to it. We got a timely goal by Josh Batch, you know, leading the offensive charge tonight for us. And, you know, of course, I thought Josh Waller was sensational tonight with his speed. He really showed you know, what he can do and how dynamic he can be. And then, of course, Brody Reed continues to score some goals. So, you know, all around, I think it was a great effort by everybody.
Let's talk about Waller a little bit, because much gets made about young Brits getting an opportunity. This is a player that's really taking his opportunity and grabbing it by the horns.
Yeah, we, you know, Josh and I talked this summer, and, you know, the thing that I wanted Josh to know is that, you know, this is a winning league. This is an organization that wants to win, and that is fact about this league. And in between there, you do have to develop some players. And the thing with Josh is that, you know, I made a commitment to him that we're going to develop him. We're going to work with him. And, you know, the matter is he's earned this opportunity to play on top lines. He's earned the opportunity to play on power plays. This has not been given to him. He got limited ice time in the Champions League. We had an opportunity in preseason to give him a good chance, and he took advantage of it, and he's getting everything that he deserves.
I thought Cox was exceptional in this game. I thought he was one of your best players in this one.
Yeah, I mean, his work ethic every night. I mean, you know, the goals are going to come in bunches with him. That just is how he's been, but every night he's still working. He's competing on loose pucks, his 50-50 battles. He does a great job of coming up more pucks than not. So, you know, he's exciting to have for our fans. He's great to have as a teammate and someone to coach in there that you know every day in practice and in the games. He comes 100% effort every night.
We talked to Todd Kellman a little bit earlier when we were setting up for our coach-to-coach feature with Paul and yourself, and Todd said he really likes the idea of having two guys, Cozen and Carruth. Takes a little bit of pressure off. There's a lot of teams, obviously, that have the number one guy and maybe a less experienced guy. Just talk about that goaltending tandem with Carruth and Cozen, because both have been good for you at different points so far early in the season.
Yeah, there was a conversation Todd and I had this summer, and you know, learning a little bit about the league and stuff. You know, understanding that a lot of teams go with just one goalie, and I wasn't comfortable with that, and Todd's not been comfortable with that for a long time himself. So we found it very important to make sure that we had a 1A, 1B, and I think we found that in Carruth and Cozen, because we're comfortable with both guys going net. Taryn's done a great job this year. He's going to get more opportunity. He's going to get some opportunity to go back-to-back like Mac has. So, you know, we just feel very confident going in that we have two goaltenders on any given night that give us a chance to win.
Well, I like the way your defense move the puck fast and hard. They don't hold on to it very long unless they see the open ice and neutral and the goal with it. But I like that principle, just moving it quick.
Yeah, we've implemented the 2-second rule. It's got to be off your stick in 2 seconds. And generally, you give that to defensemen that aren't very puck friendly. And we've got some defensemen that can handle the puck. But you know, I thought at times we look for the perfect play instead of just moving it. Your first option is always your best option. And I thought tonight we did a really good job of advancing the puck and pushing the puck north and allowing our forwards to get into their hands and get creative and drive the net and get opportunity.
So how do you build on this? That's a big victory over a tough team that came in here with 2 wins in a row. So what are the messages you take into the following week now?
Well, the good thing is we're going into Guildford, which is a team that skates extremely well. So we have to go in there and we have to be able to skate with them and make sure, again, that we're moving the puck fast, speed through the puck. So we're looking at it as a great opportunity on Wednesday up there, because that team comes at you hard, they play fast, and that's how we want to play, and that's how we're going to have to play to be successful against a team like Guildford and continue to move the puck, support the puck, and go on the attack.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. I'm a little bit disappointed, though. I thought you were going to bring your Irish flat cap up here. I was going to borrow it because you'd fit in well with Dublin. If you ever come and visit us at the Premier Sports studio, you'll have to bring that special hat. It might be your good luck charm now.
I definitely will bring it up with me, so thank you very much.
Thanks to head coach Jared Scully for joining us on the post-game show. Let's have a look now at the standings, and we've got some upcoming fixtures as well. But let's look at the Elite League table. The Steelers with their victory earlier on, now on 10 points. Cardiff up to second on 7 points. Nottingham, Guildford, and Manchester on 6. The Blaze with 5 points. Belfast and Fife on 2. Glasgow and the Dundee Stars yet to get off the mark in Elite League play. Busy times ahead in the Premier Sports Elite League. Plenty of games coming up around the rinks and arenas. And certainly for us, our next port of call will be league action this coming Friday, October 29th. as we will bring you the Nottingham Panthers versus the Belfast Giants, our Halloween edition. But before that, Sheffield versus Coventry in the league. Dundee versus Guildford, Saturday the 30th of October. Cardiff and Nottingham and Guildford versus Manchester on Halloween night. Well, a comprehensive 3-0 victory for the Cardiff Devils, now up to second in the table. Big shorthanded goal from Waller, big power play goal from Reid, and Josh Batch, as head coach Scully said, leading the offensive charge. But one final thought from you, Coach Paul Adey.
Well, I thought we saw a really good Cardiff team in this game. Obviously, they were fresh for this one, and they, like the coach said, they practiced really hard this week to prepare for the game, and they did bring their A game in this one. They knew the importance of this game to get this win at home, because as you saw in the standings, they shot up to second place with a win. I think they might have a game in hand still on Sheffield, so they're right up there at the top of the standings, so that's how important this was for them, and they played a real good game.
Are you looking forward to next Friday? Nottingham, a place where your number 22 adorns the rafters. Nottingham hosting the Belfast Giants. Will be on air from 7 p.m. Face-off is 7:30. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be an incredible game. It'd be nice to get back to Nottingham, and always a special place for me. But that is a great matchup. Nottingham-Belfast, we've seen great games over the years between the two teams.
Certainly Belfast will want to rebound from a defeat last night. But here, a 3-0 victory for the Cardiff Devils over the Manchester Storm. For Chris Ellis, Paul Adey, and the entire Premier Sports crew, I'm Aaron Murphy. Until Friday, when we do it all again, keep your head up and your stick on the ice. Goodbye for now from Ice Arena, Wales.